Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. We're the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America, okay? And also we're out here to let our people know, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that they are the true Israelites, man. Okay, that they are the nation of Israel, which, if we can get that in Deuteronomy 4 and 9, I'm about to go and get that real quick, and then also Deuteronomy 7 and 6, you know what I'm saying, to show that the Most High is put Israel on a pedestal, man, okay? Spiritually, man. Israel is on a higher level than all the other nations.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Right, so before Israel entered into the land of Canaan, we were commanded to keep the laws that the Most High had given us, man. Okay, which are written down, and now we have the ability to go back and read those laws, man. Okay, and so it says, we actually read that part again.
Verse 5 is Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
So we were supposed to do the law, statutes, and commandments in the land that the Most High had given us, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Right, it says we're supposed to keep those commandments. It said we're supposed to keep those commandments. Can you hold Deuteronomy 7 and 6? Yeah, Babusa. Okay, it says we basically so we can be an example to the nations, man. Okay.
It says,
Read that part. The nations.
I got you. Deuteronomy 4 and 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Right, and see, our people don't value wisdom and understanding. They toss it to the side of the road. They say, who gives a damn about that? That doesn't matter, you know. Matter of fact, in Proverbs the 8th chapter, it talks about how wisdom is more valuable than pretty much anything else, man.
Proverbs 8 and 11, for wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it.
Right, so, you know, Jake B wanting the PS5 and you know, some land. You know, land is a good, you know, people talk about, oh, get you some land, you know what I'm saying, invest in it, you know. What else? You know, cars, women, okay, but more important than all of that, more valuable, and not even on a comparable level, is wisdom, man. So that should put the priority of wisdom above any other thing, man. Okay? Is that it? We don't have verse on that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to that. And what scripture you looking for?
I forgot, bro.
Okay, let's get that in Deuteronomy. Let's go back to that.
Deuteronomy 4 and 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right, so the nations are supposed to see us, you know, acting out the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and look at us as a nation and say, wow, the Spirit of the Lord is on these people. The Spirit of the Lord is with these people, because how else would they be able to rule in such harmony and with the Most High's creation, man? Okay? And that's what's going to happen in the kingdom, man. All right? In the kingdom, starting with the 144,000, man, Israel is going to be in rulership. Okay? And so what does the scripture say? When the wicked beareth rule, excuse me, when the righteous, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. When the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice. Okay? And it's about to be a paradigm shift pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, man. 6 and 9. Okay, that's what we hastening that coming, we looking for it, all that. Okay? Okay, go ahead.
Going into wisdom. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 6.
This is kind of loose.
And
there you go.
verse 20, it says, therefore the desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom.
Read that again, Bible Rashad.
Wisdom of Solomon 6:20, therefore the desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom.
The desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom. So you desiring wisdom, consequently, you're going to search it out naturally, right? And when you find it, you know, you're going to continue to pursue it. You're going to continue to pursue it. You're going to continue to, you know, learn more and grow in the spirit, okay? And essentially, man, what comes out of that is understanding, you know? Go ahead, Al.
Verse 21, if your delight be in thrones and sepulchres, it says, O ye kings of the people,
Right,
honor
which thrones and sepulchres, I mean, and scepters, it represents rulership. So if you know you want to be in rulership, then what are you supposed to do?
It says, honor wisdom that
Right.
ye may reign forever.
Right.
Forevermore.
It says, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. Now, what does it mean to honor wisdom? To diligently seek after the Most High, man. And when you have that understanding, you hold it fast. Like Revelation, the 2nd chapter talks about. Okay?
Right. Yeah, like the brother read, this is acceptance. Okay. So then rod of iron, man. So if you would like to be like the you know, the brother posted here, man. Okay, with that crown, man. Let no man take thy crown, hold that which thou hast, hold fast till the Lord comes. Got that scepter, man. Okay, to rule the nations with a rod of iron, man.
Con. Yep. And like the brother quoted, you know what I'm saying, Revelation, the 2nd chapter talks about that, man. Hold fast that which thou hast. All right? Because ultimately the kingdom is it's inevitable. It's going to come. Right. There's nothing going to stop it.
Right.
Okay? The Lord is going to return, and Esau going to be thrown down, which is what we was holding in Malachi, the 1st chapter.
Right.
You know? What you
I was just laying back and adding on, man, like, you know, going in. Hey, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The scriptures speak about in 2nd Ezra, pretty much how to pretty much the kingdom is prepared. Watch and pray for a few days, man. You know, because Yahweh Shah, he said he goes to prepare a place for us, man. So he been building many mansions, you know, all since his departure, man. And it's prepared for us, brothers. I got it.
Let's go back. Yeah. Did you read it yet?
No. I'm still on 4. You said you
No, the point was in verse 6. In Deuteronomy 4. I believe it was made. So let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
I got that right here. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy God. Yahweh thy power have chosen thee. Thee.
It says holy. When you look into that word holy in the Hebrew, that word is kodash. When you look in the demons always ramp up on the weekend a lot of times.
Friday night.
I wouldn't be surprised if next couple of weeks we'll see that the Christmas tree, you know, thing pop up like it does every year.
The Christmas contraption.
Man, and they're gonna have it up there for 3 or 4 months. It's gonna be played out. They're gonna have it up there till Valentine's Day, man.
Well, they might not have it up this year because they're talking about how Christmas is gonna be canceled, man.
Damn.
You know, so we hope that this place is finished, man.
Right.
Yeah, we're throwing up curses on this place, man.
Right.
All right. I mean, it's ultimately already cursed, but it won't hurt to hasten the day, man, that this place gets destroyed, because it's gonna be a glorious and marvelous day. It says the heavens are gonna rejoice. Okay, and also the creation is gonna rejoice, man, because right now the creation is complaining. Pursuant to Romans the 8th chapter, the Lord's creation is complaining, man. All right, not just us, you know, Israelites that are in our right mind in these times. Okay. By the way, the only thing that's not complaining is 2/3 of Jake, man, and he's heathen that's out here, you know, quote unquote winning and getting benefits, you know, from being part of this beast system.
Yeah, well, if I may add real quick to the brother's point, the thing is like just laying back and they're complaining, but they're complaining about the wrong things. They don't 2/3 of our people don't even understand that they in captivity. You know, they complaining about so-called BLM and Black Lives Matter, or you know, whatever the issue is, but they don't understand why they're in that position, the scenario, situation. They don't turn back to the one that's smiting them. Like the scriptures say, my people refuse to turn back to the one that's actually smiting them and putting them in this position, man. But like the priest is going into, man, Jake is worried about partying and bullshitting. You know, is LeBron James going to win the next finals next year?
Yeah, without Kyrie.
Yeah,
right. Because he refused to get the arm candy. You know, but LeBron took it. You know, what does that show you? These niggas, they sold out. Here it is, you a billionaire. You still want to play basketball, man.
Bro, what does Proverbs 1 say? How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the Israelites, man. How long you niggas gonna be homosexuals? How long you niggas gonna care about, like the brothers say, basketball? The next football season.
BS, man. Which
the next
you're not
day.
wicked for watching it, right? You know what I'm saying? With understanding. But these people, they deify that stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
They'll get into arguments and enjoy the shit. Complaining, but comparing who's the best this, you know, which rookie they think is gonna have the most successful starting year, man.
Hey, niggas just going fighting over that shit.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, fuck around and kill each other over there. Who better, LeBron or Michael Jordan, man? That's why the scriptures say folly is set in great dignity, man. This place is just, it promotes folly, man. That's how you can tell the minds of the people, man. They totally through, man. Look at the mind. They looking at, distracted by this bullshit and not looking around at the environment, man. What's going on around them is what's taking place on the planet Earth, man. It can't be nothing nice. They're talking about food shortages, all this other thing. My people not worried about that stuff, like the brothers going into, man. They're worried about LeBron James, man, and Kyrie Irving, you know?
Yeah, like the scriptures say in Ezekiel 21, which I'm gonna let the priest get it back. You know, I just did a lesson going into this, man. It speaks about, you know, how the sword is furbished, is sharpened. The sword of the Lord, the so-called white man, okay, the wicked. And it says, shall we then make mirth? Shall we then be in a spirit of mirth, folly, partying, BS, surfeiting? You know what I'm saying? Because that sword, meanwhile, the concentration camps are being prepared, man. The jobs will be, it's jobs hiring in Washington for them to employ you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, 2/3 of y'all's future home, man. You niggas gonna be cast into that prison pursuant to Revelation 2 and 10, man. Got it off.
Yep. I mean, you know, for individuals to say that, you know, Jacob's trouble isn't gonna be a thing, you know, it's just gonna be, you know, it's just gonna be just America get destroyed and in the kingdom of heaven, that they going off, man. All right, because you have people already starting to catch hell already, just with this, you know what mandate. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we're not exempt from that, man. The Lord's prophets are not exempt from persecution, man. Okay, because the scripture said that if the world, Yahweh Shai said this specifically. He said if the world hate me, you know, this says what? The servant is no greater than his master, than his Lord. So of course, you know, we're gonna get persecuted as well because we believe in the same thing. St. John 17th chapter talk about what? Ye are not of the world. If you were, then the world would love its own. Okay, but being that we're not of this world, we're gonna be rejected. Just like if you ingest a poison, your body is going to reject it. Or even if you get some blood that's not the same blood type as you, your body gonna reject that blood. You know, it has to be compatible with the body, man. Same thing with this world. We are like a disease to this world, and this world is like a infection to us. You know, we're not. Matter of fact, Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, his ways are contrary to our doings. It's like 22 or something like that. But what were you? Did you read that? Can you get that Hosea 4?
Yep. This is Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of Yahweh, ye children of Israel. Ye children of Israel. Okay, this is addressed to a certain people, Deuteronomy 7:6, that chosen people. the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans only, man. For Yahweh hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Yeah, it says a controversy. Did you want to speak on it?
Get down, huh?
It says the Lord has a controversy with his people, man. Meaning that, look, he got pressure, he got beef. There's some unsettled business. He got a score to settle with Israel. An unpaid tab and a debt must be collected, man. Okay, because Jake is out here acting like the Lord don't exist. Acting like, you know, he pretty much is asleep. And they can get away with, you know, when your parents would sleep, you would creep out your bedroom and, well, you know, if you was a quote-unquote bad kid or whatever, a daring child, you might, you know, in the middle of the night go sneak some cookies or, you know, do something, but you do it while you know there ain't nobody awake. That's what Israel is like, man. As, you know, acting as if, or even worse, the parents, you know, away from home. You know, that's, you know, and then you got the children jumping on the couch and turning the radio all up loud and all that stuff. That's how Israel acted, man. Okay? And so now, hey, the Lord finna visit this place, and when he does, they're gonna be caught red-handed, man. Okay? And I found that scripture, it was in Wisdom of Solomon 2. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna go and read it real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. You know what I'm saying?
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon. You said 2 and 12, right? Chapter 2 and verse 12, it says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
Right, and by the way, if you read Psalms the 10th chapter, it goes into the same thing, man. Okay, basically talking about the wicked laying snares for Israel, which they've always done it. They've always tried to set up Israel to be caught in a trap, caught in a snare, even to this day. They're always trying to, you know, when I say they, I'm talking about the so-called white man, the self-proclaimed white man, all right, who is known as Esau in the Bible.
Yes.
If you read Genesis, the 25th chapter, it talks about the birth of Jacob and Esau, okay? And it talked about how he was red, matter of fact. Excuse me. We gotta get the illustration right here, because even this is a dang on controversy, and they're gonna argue this to death that you know, that Esau was somebody outside of who he is, man. Esau is the self-proclaimed white man. It says it right here, Genesis 25 and 25. Man, the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, man. Okay, talking about Esau. This is the man that you see today ruling the world in wickedness, man. Which is right here. It's like your brother, man. Can I get this real quick? These pink devils right here are the ones that are ruling the entire world, man. So we are here to identify in the Bible different nations that the Bible talks about. Because the reason why this is important is because you have prophecies, which we're about to get into in Malachi, the first chapter, that address the nations by their biblical names. It doesn't say white man, black man, Hispanic man, Indian man, and all that. Okay, so that's why it's important to know who is who in the scriptures. Now, can we read that again in Wisdom of Solomon?
Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous.
And does not the self-proclaimed white man do that? He lies in wait. He sets up traps and snares for Jacob.
Psalm the 10th Psalm.
Yeah, that's the spirit. I just mentioned that. You know, Psalm chapter 10. You know, you can almost start at the top on that one.
Psalms 10 and 1, why standest thou far off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Right, and that's the thing. You know, at times it may seem like the Lord is, you know, is basically just not hearing none of our petitions, which at a time he did take his name away from us, and now he's giving it back to us, man. Okay, we recently just got it back. Okay, call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahshua, but at one time we forgot our heritage, man, which is a punishment.
Prophecy also.
Yep, exactly. You know, and so what did the self-proclaimed white man do? capitalize off of that, because ultimately it was prophecy that he was going to be able to rule over us, you know, in the latter days, and Israel will fall away.
Yeah, he put the name of Israel upon himself, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one that's proclaiming to be the Israelite now, man. He's the one that's in our land, you know, calling himself the Israelis, but they're really Amalekites, man.
Right.
You know, like the scripture says in what is it, Ezekiel 35? Let me possess these two nations as if the Lord was there. You see what I'm saying? So with Esau using his pseudoscience, his money, you know, he putting trillions upon trillions of dollars into our downfall. What did that do? That pretty much he rigged the finish line and the start line, and then you try to catch up, but he has it rigged. But it was all prophecy at the end of the day that he would try to put the name of Israel upon himself.
Yeah, and it's also prophesied that everything that he did unto us is going to be rendered unto him double, man, in righteousness, in the kingdom. Which you can see why we're such advocates for the kingdom, man. Because we're not going to be able to get that, you know, payback feeling, if you will. We're not going to feel like we have received that spiritual, you know, righteous justification until he's been put through the same stuff that we got put through, man. You know, according to the measure that he gave it out. Okay?
Let them be taken in the devices. Another word for devices is plans, when you look into their words, that they have imagined. For the wicked, what's their plan? Psalms 83, cutting us off from being a nation. They're all being in confederate, these 17 heathen nations, against the nation of Israel. For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire. I just did a lesson on that this week, man. You got these devils. It's Salakia, brother. Specifically, you had where's Davy R? Your boy is. This little that devil. This one. He said if his family, if this is in his book Memoirs, I forgot page 401, he was quoted saying if it's a charge that his family is a part of a secret cabal, okay, working against the best interests of the U.S., okay, and he mentioned one world order, man. So they boast, they tell you what they want to do before they try to bring it to pass, man. 2 Thessalonians 2:9, they try to play the Most High, man.
Right. But all of the efforts that they put in, you know, going to seek counsel from these different, you know, spiritual mediums and, you know, different witchcrafts that they do, drinking all the blood and all this stuff that they do, man. Which they do be doing that, you know, they trying to make it seem like, oh no, that's a conspiracy theory. We, you know, oh yeah. They joking about how they be drinking, but no, they really be doing that shit, man. Because if nobody was drinking baby's blood, then why the hell is it out there for sale, man? Why is human blood? Now, we ain't talking about hospital donor blood. We talking about you buying blood, don't give a damn about the blood type, by the gallon.
Blood extracted from a child abuse, man. Adrenochrome, bro. That's what we talking about.
Yeah, but if you speak on that as a, you know, if Nicki Minaj talked about that shit,
she did.
She'd be super canceled. They already trying to cancel her
from these
just for speaking her opinion on the so-called jab, man. You know, but at the end of the day, all of that stuff is to stir up
opposition,
to stir up strife and contention, and get people to choose sides, man. Which we've already chose the side that we on before the pandemic, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, but us brothers out here, we're talking about specifically. Now, you're going to have believers that coming in, is going to continue to come in until it's too late. You know what I'm saying? But we're in that last hour, man. The last days of the last days. So let's go back to that in Wisdom of Solomon 1.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings.
Right. So them lying in wait equates to all of the media that they controlling to make you think whatever you pick, whatever side you want to pick, man. But they're controlling the narrative on both sides.
That's right.
You know?
That's why it says they had two horns like a lamb and spoke as a dragon. You know, you got two sides. You got the Democrat, Republican.
Right.
You know, you got these the pro mask, the anti-mask, the pro-activated, the anti-activation.
Right.
So you got these different parties. But if you're looking at a beast, it's still connected to the same system.
Yeah.
And it's created it's created for your downfall and for your destruction.
Divide and conquer.
Yep.
It's locked, brother.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the point. And I'll give an example. I was driving down 75,000 miles today, and I seen some Edomites that was holding some flags.
Oh yeah.
And you know how like sometimes you have on an overpass on the street, you'll drive on a highway and there'll be an overpass of whatever street it is. And there was some people hanging flags down and they had signs saying Trump won. You know what I'm saying? And it said already outed all 50 states. One big sign that said outed all 50 states because they're basically saying he won the election. But those are the people that's picking on the other side, man. Yeah. They're on the other side of the peace horn, trying to say, look, if Trump had won, America would be better than it is now.
Right.
You know?
Honestly, we don't vote. You know what I'm saying? They both devils at the end of the day. But when you look at it, when you look at Trump and Biden, you know, for you niggas that wanted to vote for Joe Biden, you got to just look at the statistics and the facts is that underneath Joe Biden, you pretty much in more captivity than underneath Trump. You know, you ask a so-called Biden supporter, why did you vote for Joe Biden? And they cannot give you a solid response as to why. They'll just tell you, well, you know, he's just a Democrat. Well, he's better than Trump. Well, you know what? You got to vote for the lesser of the better of two evils.
Yeah.
How you gonna have the better of two evils? It just shows you how dumb you damn niggas are, man.
Right.
Joe Biden ready to whoop y'all niggas' asses.
Bro, politics have not worked for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and neighborhoods.
Yep, and we know that when the wicked of the circumcision chose to free Barabbas over Yahushua, man. Yep. You know, our people is a problem, man. You know, that's why us as individuals, we have to continue to examine our, matter of fact, we get that, examine ourselves whether we be in the faith. You know what I'm saying? Because really, that's the only thing we can control is our reaction to the situation that we're in, man. Okay? That's it. We can't control other people's decisions. If your mama or your brother or whatever decide to take the chip or whatever it may be, hey, you can't control them. All we out here to do is warn the people, man. You know, specifically our nation. Okay, because Yahushua said that I have not come before the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. All right. Now, also there are scriptures that do talk about, speak, to all the nations, about the destruction that's coming. All right. But the only people that can be saved out of it is who? The elect. Okay. So, yeah, let's continue on that.
All right. Continuing on in verse 2, he upbraided us with our offending the law and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education.
What verse was that?
That was
Verse 13 or 14?
That was 12.
Was that verse 13? Yeah,
No.
I wanted to finish verse 13.
All right, verse 13, it says, he professed.
I'm sorry, finish, well, yeah, that's cool. Read verse 13.
He professed to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Right, which really that's going into how Yahushua was being accused of basically being an imposter. They were trying to say that he wasn't the son of the Most High. All right, and us coming in the spirit of Yahushua, man. They calling us not the true Israelites and saying we don't got the spirit and all these different things, these different accusations, just like how Yahushua was persecuted, man. Okay, so that's why we have to maintain our faith during that hour of temptation, man. Was that in Psalms 10? Okay, let's get that in 1 Corinthians. Matter of fact, what was the part in Psalms 10 where it talked about that you would catch the poor?
It's like lower, like so in verse 10, like around that area.
Okay.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Can you scroll down to where it says
Like the lurking place
for it. And yeah.
Hey, and this jab, they're being taken in their device with that, because it's coming out that it's a failed situation, man.
Oh yeah.
It's through.
Yeah.
Like it's being confounded, like even by their own science. It's all confounded.
He's in straits.
How much more as they come with the sword and come with all of these other unrighteous decrees? There's only going to be a witness against themselves.
Right, that's what it says. Let them be taken in the devices that which they imagine. They the one that drew up this plan, and this backfiring in their face, man. You know, and every decision that they make, demons are on them to make them decisions to bring down, just like how the pagan Roman Empire fell and lost, its power. Okay, through various different political moves that were made. It's the same situations happening with America, man.
I got some. Proverbs 26 and 27. Whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein.
That's it. Whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein. So you over here trying to set a trap and a snare for a man that the Lord is protecting to fall in. Hey, the Most High gonna make you fall into that, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth the stone, it will return upon him.
You got it, huh?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, you trying to roll a stone, you trying to set snares and traps, particularly for the Israelites. But Esau so damn conniving and such a big ass demon that he wanted to kill his own people in order to try to snare up the Israelites, man. But with this snare that you're trying to set with this whole activation, the whole mandating of this pandemic that's been set.
Yeah.
Mandating everything, making everybody take it, which is coming out like the elders mentioned. That it's really a test. It's going to be a testimony against you. You trying to roll a stone? Try to imagine rolling a stone up a hill. Yeah, I'm gonna use this to smush everybody on the other end. It's like on Black Summer when they had them supplies. They was trying to pull up that big ass hill, and the dude cut it off and killed. And the dude that was like the Edomite that was pretty much like, look, we got to get it up here. He was eventually gonna kill them anyway. It ended up falling on him and killing him. So this whole trap and snare that you're setting, it's really gonna fall back upon yourself, man. It tells you that in Job, the 20th chapter.
Yeah, that's the times we living in. If I can say,
He sold all of the nation's missiles.
yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, for sure.
Even Russia, they trade and give these different nations missiles. It's going to be used for they have a bloodbath.
Yep.
They've literally financed their own destruction.
That's right. Yep. Like that Looney Tunes. I think it was Looney Tunes cartoon with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Every trap that Wile E. Coyote would set up, Roadrunner would finesse. Even Tom and Jerry. You see that in Tom and Jerry too. You got it. Huh? Yeah. Well, I'm just making the comparison. It's the same thing because you might watch that and say, oh man, they were lucky. But in the same way of they being quote unquote lucky, the Spirit of the Lord is with us, man. Because we're gonna find ourselves in situations where we could be sole survivors, man. Out of multitude of people that may perish or been injured, and whatever type of calamity comes, just like World War I and World War II. You know what I'm saying? The descendants of those survivors that were Israelites that fought in those wars. Hey, those were the 1/3 that were preserved, man. So where the 1/3 can continue to be brought through from their loins, man. So go ahead. What you gonna say?
yeah, that snare, like a.
Yeah, it's just too demonic, man.
Every Friday, man. It's Tuesday and Friday. Yeah, man, that snare, that
33.
man,
Illuminati going down.
being a lady with she got the face shield on and man. These people, man.
Woo!
Yeah, man. But that's proof that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is that cunning hunter, as it speaks about in Genesis, the 25th chapter, man. Laying those snares, man.
Shit, bait call.
That show bait call. That nigga was hunting Jake, man.
Oh, I thought you were talking about them actual real scam calls where they be trying to get you to put your credit card information and social. Even that, it's like, why the hell are we getting calls to where they got an Edomite on the phone trying to say, oh yeah, you know, you won the jackpot over here in Jamaica. All you gotta do is give me your address and social and birthday, and we'll send you the money. Like, come on, bro.
That fucking warranty. We've been trying to notify you about your warranty. Like,
I got so many blocked numbers, and the scam likely don't even work no more, man. You still get them fake calls, man. So this place is whack, man.
Full of lies and robbery. Leasing, loans. Fucking
Interest.
Yeah, fucking loan, you in debt forever. Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
And by the way, these people that we're talking about, you know, of course, every Edomite has their fair share of indignation towards Israel, whether they want to admit it or not, whether they even willingly know it consciously or not. Subconsciously, they have that ancient hatred, man, which is going to cause them to like the brother probably was gonna say, you know, basically show their horns when all hell breaks loose, man.
Yo, I was gonna mention like the race wars. Watch the true colors come out, man.
Mm-hmm. But the point I was trying to make is most of these Edomites don't have the power to really act out outside of their little guns that they might buy or whatever. They don't really have the power to, you know, put Jake in, you know, different types of living situations, prevent them from getting certain different types of interest rates on loans, and allow other nations to do so. But the ones that do, best believe they're Edomites, man. Okay, they're not. You don't have. It's not a, you know, melting pot like how it is here, you know, in your average metropolis city. It's not just, oh, it's some, you know, Arabian guys over here. You know, it's a Indian guy over here. Hispanic dude, you know, it's a Mexican sitting with the Rothschilds, you know, no, man. Okay, they're Edomites, man. Those are the ones that have the majority of the power, man. When I say power, I mean money. Okay, they controlling the energy that's being transferred on the earth, you know, on the physical side, man. Okay, so these are the ones that you don't see. You know, because you might think, well, damn, my neighbor ain't never looked at me crazy. He's white. We're not talking about him, man. Y'all make the same, y'all, you know, you got some Jakes that's managers over, you know, over Edomites. We're not talking about them low-class Edomites, man. We're talking about the ones that's in rulership. Go ahead,
Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent.
Right. Who do you know is? You think everybody can get away with murder, man? No. All right. The ones who get away with murder are the ones that control armies, the ones that control that start wars and end wars. You know, that provide you know, healthcare and these different things to one group of people, and to another group of people, they suppress their way of life. They suppress their standard of life. You know, they control what they listen to, what they eat, what they hear, what types of goods are available to them, what type of you know, chemicals and drugs are in their food, man. You know, that's the type of control we're talking about, man. If you don't have access to that type of control, we're not talking about you're not in rulership. You know. So let's continue on that. Matter of fact, you read verse 10 already? Oh, it's a different one, bro. It's a different what's the name, Sean? If it wasn't so many people stacked on top of each other,
man, bro,
it wouldn't be as bad, man.
Yeah, you be dead by the time.
It's a fire truck down. Is that a fire truck?
Yeah. It's like you on the 56th floor. You're gonna be dead by the time they get up all the elevators, if it even work in your apartments, man. This place is confusing. Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. Mm-hmm. It says.
And he throw up his hands like, look, I ain't do it. I'm innocent. But really, he's guilty, man, and he's murdering the innocent, like the scriptures say in Zechariah. Matter of fact. Wait, keep reading on that bunker shot.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Yeah, better.
Yup.
You break it down, huh?
Yeah, his eyes are privily. Can we get that word privily, Baba Gashar, in the scripture? Psalms 10 and 8. It says his eyes are privily set against the poor. Yeah, it says the scriptures say the wicked plotteth against the just. Okay, so they're constantly pursuant to Psalms 83, looking of ways to do away with us and destroy us. Where you at? Psalms 10 and 8, that word privily. You know, go ahead.
That word privily in the Hebrew, 868:45. It's safan, all right, and it says to hide, treasure or store up.
Yeah, they hide, man, through different legislation they laid for you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to catch you up, which is why you're the highest incarcerated racist, so-called racist out of all people on the planet of the earth, man.
Yeah.
You know, and various loans, you know, various different ways he can get you.
Education, lack of education. You know, man, it's Jake's
Misinformation, miseducation.
man. Brothers and sisters, you can go a long way with misinformation, man. He will convince you to think that you're inferior to him your entire life just by telling you that we brought you, you know, over here in slave ships, and that was the beginning of your history. Prior to that, y'all were just beasts walking around in Africa, and that's what you know. Leave it to him, and he'll tell you that. And you got, you know, people that want to make the connection to Hamites. Okay, well, when you read in the Bible that the Lord destroyed Ham, man. He destroyed Ham's kingdom to save Israel, man.
Well, that's the destroying of landmarks. You know, you make somebody, you know, you tell somebody a lie, and you discontinue them from their heritage. You know, that's what like the priest is going into. Like when you come up in school, high school, really, you know, it starts really in the womb. You know, the first thing that happens when a baby comes out the womb, they immediately injecting you with shit. You know what I'm saying? They disconnect you from your mother, pretty much. You know,
Cause all type of learning disabilities.
yeah. So they put all kinds of different lies out there from a youth up, so that you taught that oh yeah, I'm an African, I'm African American, I'm black. This is our heritage. You know, soul food and Christianity, like all these different things you're taught. So coming back to our nationality, you know, this is a miracle in itself. This is a very big deal, which Esau sees this. You know, these elites, these guys know that they know the prophecies, man. They know exactly who we are. They know exactly who they are. They know that this is the biggest weapon, repentance. So us coming up and standing on our feet, they're like, oh, hell no. We got to try to stop it, but you can't stop it, you know?
It's too late.
Too late in the game.
You know, the best thing you can try to do is try to keep the people, you know, that weren't meant to wake up on this side anyway, continue to keep them asleep and suppress their, you know, their spiritual understanding of the Bible as much as he can, man.
Which he does to your leaders, man. My people are led as a flock to the slaughter.
Oh yeah.
Al Sharptongue and T.D. Jakes and LeBron James and your celebrity leaders and your idols that you look up to. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're leading you astray. They're leading you down a path to destruction.
Well, Esau used a Jake to tell, I believe it was the state of Mississippi, you know, that the armed candy is safe. You know, you can go ahead and take it. You know, even though the governor would say otherwise. You know, which these Edomites, this, you know, ain't tripping on, you know, mandating the you know what, you know, they you know, they less tyrannical and less demonic than the ones that saying, you know, you gotta have one to live in your apartment and go to work and all this stuff, man. You know, but you know, you got these sellout Jakes, but you've always had them. You got these sellout Jakes getting paid to tell more Jakes to take the you know what, man.
On camera.
Yeah.
He popping on camera.
So, you know, and best believe, man, these sellout Jakes too, they're gonna get, you know, they're gonna get rewarded, man, in punishment.
Yep.
They're gonna get rewarded in whether there's famine, plagues, you know, the pestilence, the sword is coming, man. Okay, all hell is about to break loose, man, and you rather have the protection of the Most High on you than not, man, in these days to come. You know?
Psalms 10 and 9, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Man.
He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
Right, you see that? So he laying in wait, setting up snares for you to fall into this trap that he set up. and only the ones that's that the Lord ain't dealing with are gonna get caught up in that snare and that trap, man. You know.
Man, Esau is a perfect example, just like the law enforcement, man. How you sit and lurking, they sit behind shit, try to catch Jake's speed. You know what I mean? They don't do that shit in either of my neighborhoods, man. You know, you don't see a police set up sitting there clocking people. It's only for you Jakes, man. All right. Even with the like the speed limit, you'll be going 70, then next thing you know, you go a mile down and shit'll change. And you know what I'm saying? You may not be paying attention, then a nigga pull you over. Well, it was just 70 back there. Well, that nigga is setting up traps, man. You know?
Yeah, even worse than that, they'll have Edomites basically be incentivized to move to certain areas and leave a concentration of Jakes in other areas, and then give less options to schools. They have the whack ass teachers that don't give a damn about you. They tell you ain't gonna be nothing. But in the Edomite areas, they got even if it's public school, it's still damn near better than private school.
Right.
You go up there in Grapevine and South Lake, Keller, okay,
no trophy club.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Trophy Club over there where them Edomites is at, man.
Yeah.
Them niggas chilling, And it's Esau out there, man. You don't feel like you in Dallas when you're over there. You feel like you in Texas. Texas, like, damn, this Dallas? No, it's Grapevine, man.
Good old boys.
Yeah, and they gonna look at you, nigga. You don't belong here.
Exactly.
Get out of my bar.
I just live out there.
Get out of my,
Hey.
whatever,
But an Edomite can walk through the hood and ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nobody call the police on them.
Won't mug them. It won't be no danger to a so-called Edomite in the hood, man.
Yeah, man.
Scotch
Sit
free.
there, hey, like we was talking about, sitting there like lurking like a lion, man. That bait car show, man.
Yeah.
Nigga plant a damn car right in front of Jake. Bitch act like she hopping in the car with somebody, and forgot and left the fucking keys. And them niggas be sitting down the street just looking. Yeah, we're gonna get you out here. Somebody's approaching the car. You know what I'm saying? They even had a Chicago.
Put it on
bro.
TV. They put it on TV.
It made a show.
Look,
Bro.
they point the finger.
And then they build a stereotype. Niggas are thieves.
Yeah, look at them.
The accuser of thy brethren. That word accuser is categoreo. They put the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American in categories: thug, terrorist, criminal. They plaster you on the major news networks every night, showing your folly, man.
Yep.
Meanwhile, he's in the next country bombing everybody to hell, taking their oil, their resources, man.
Oh yeah, what was that dude that stood up to George Bush?
Oh yeah, that Iraqi veteran
and cursed him out. He was like, man, millions of people are dead because of you. There was no reason to go into Iraq, this and that, because why? He knew that 9/11. If you still think that 9/11 was
right.
done by some damn
foreign nation,
Taliban niggas, man.
Yeah.
You are super through.
Yeah, you're gone.
Okay. Everybody knows that 9/11 was perpetrated by the United States, man.
That's right.
All right. And if you think that it was anything outside of that, you got to be out of your dang own mind, man.
Right.
The United States would never let a commercial airline be hijacked by some damn Taliban people.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
And so the point of that was to pretty much get the reason to go to war in Iran, man, in Iraq. I mean, okay. Which that's what his MO is. He doesn't keep it home, like the scriptures say.
Yeah, let's get there, man.
Habakkuk 2.
Yeah, well, I was gonna go into that one, just laying backing off your point. This is Micah 2:2. I might have to start at 1. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed.
Right. Woe means destruction. Okay. And the reason why we bringing out scriptures to talk about current events is because it is talking about what's happening now, man. More so than ever. How are you gonna say that? Oh yeah, I believe we're living in biblical times, but you don't want to believe the scriptures when they apply to what's going on, man. If people will admit that. I bet you a majority of these people out here, if you ask them, hey, do you believe we're living in biblical times right now? They'll probably say, yeah, I feel like, the talks of World War III and the end of the world is, it's always a topic. There's always, there's always talks of it, And why is that, man? Were they talking about World War III back in the 1400s, man? Or the 1500s or the 1600s? No. Okay, but we in the last days of the last days. We've been in the last days since Yahushua came on the scene. And now we're seeing the final prophecies come to pass, okay, to where the last one that we waiting for is this one right here, okay, to come to pass before Yahushua comes back, man.
Right.
Okay, which this right here is the mark of the beast, man. And if you take this, the Most High, matter of fact, let's get Revelation 14 and 9, okay? Anybody that takes this chip, which you're not even going to be able to say, I keep saying it. I know we got an acronym for it now, but it is what it is, man. Because we should be able to say it, man. It's biblical terminology. Okay? Anybody that's taking this chip, by the way, it will become mandatory. Okay? And right when they start bringing it out, just like how we say the phrase mandatory, and they take the video down. By that time, when they start making these popularized, we gonna say mandatory chip. See, we can say mandatory chip now, but when it comes out, we ain't gonna be able to say it, man. Not on camera, without getting the video flag, because that's what their agenda is, man. Okay. So let's get that real quick,
Revelations 14 and 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image,
if any man worship the beast, what is the beast? What is the beast? The beast is the system of Edomites known as NATO and the EU. The system that this man has created to basically govern and rule the world, man. Create trade and military. Okay? Go ahead.
And it says,
and how do you worship that beast? It says the beast in what?
It says in his image.
Right. How do you worship the beast in his image? And what is the image of the beast? The New World Order. Novus Ordo Seclorum. Okay? Ain't that on the back of the dollar bill?
Yes.
Showing you right there. This is Egypt. The pyramid on there.
The eagle on there.
Right.
The eagle. He puts what he wants to do in plans, man.
Yeah. And by the way, there's certain terms that this man has put out in recent years we can't even say because it'll flag the video. But it's going into what we talking about, man. Okay? The BB, build back, you know what? I'll say it like that. I'll give you 2 out of 3. Build back, you know what? That term right there is going into the image of the beast, man. The New World Order. Okay? Because what they're doing is order out of chaos. They're creating chaos and confusion with the pandemic. Okay? And now they want you to fall in line. You're going to have to sacrifice your freedom for the sake of security. Okay? Which, if you do that, man, you fall into this category, man, of those that's not gonna make it. Go ahead.
It says, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
Mm-hmm. What is that mark? Again, the chip. That's the chip, man. I want to get this image burned into the heads of those viewers. So we got the signs, man. You taking this chip? What's going to happen?
So in verse 10 it says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
Right. So if you take this chip, you're gonna drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Meaning you're gonna either get killed by the famine or the sword or the pestilence, or by the wild beast, or by that second death, thermonuclear destruction, man.
Right. And it say in his forehead or in his hand, man. Because you got simple people out there that will try to say, "Oh, well, I'll just take it in my shoulder, in my back." Right. Bro, the scriptures talk about in Revelation 20. It reiterates again, those that had not worshipped the beast, neither received his mark, man. Okay.
And you're gonna have people that don't make it, that don't even get the chip. Okay.
But you cannot receive anywhere in your body.
Yeah.
Okay. can't be
Well, the
simple.
thing is, they're gonna everybody that's gonna have it is gonna put it in their hand, man. That's the point. That's what you. That's why they put. That's where they
Or
put
the
it right
brain
now.
chip.
Yeah, or they. I thought that was a brother or something. But yeah, man, or the Neuralink. You know, you get that Neuralink, you got demons on you, man.
They got the other one. They passed the Neuralink.
Yeah.
They got a company. I forgot the name of it. Start with an S. They passed it. They didn't start at the clinical trials where the CEO, he said they're trying to figure out how to get this technology pretty much running smoothly to where they can put it into humans, man. Which they already got the technology. It's all easy.
Yeah. The technology is here, man. Okay, smartphones came out 10 years ago. The iPhone came out actually more than that, longer than that. Damn near 15 years ago, man. The first iPhone, which they call that the smartphone. You know, and so with that being said, you think that this man doesn't have the technology to 07? What they had? That was when the PS3 first came out. Now they got the PS5, man. So compare the technology of the first version of PS3 to the PS5, and that's how you know how far along the line. Or the first iPhone. Now they just released the iPhone 13 Pro, and now take the first iPhone and then the iPhone 13 Pro and see how much difference in just a decade, not even a decade and a half makes, man. You know, a lot of people think that we still got 2005 technology, man. Nah, this is the future, man. You got AI. Remember when Siri first came out? Everybody was wooed and awed by Siri. Siri been out 10 years. So this technology that we used to is old, man. Esau got some stuff that he don't put in commercials because it's still being used in the military or whatever it may be, you know?
If I can make a point, brother, because Elder Apostle Ramla a few months ago did a lesson going into how technology is really the same, but now it's getting smaller. And now they're starting to put more things into one little device. And eventually what it's going to boil down to is that chip.
Yeah.
That's eventually what it's going to boil down to. You can buy with this.
Yeah.
You can talk on the phone. It's going to be connected to you in a molecular way to where you don't even have to pull the phone out your pocket no more.
Hey, nanotechnology, that was science fiction. You know, 15, 20 years ago, man. Now, people looking in the needles to make sure that they arm candy don't got no chip in it. You know, this man is able to build molecular structures, man. How do you think your phone has gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes of memory in the palm of your hand, and it still has enough internal storage to fit a dang on battery, fucking 3 cameras in there, a wireless charging pad, you know what I'm saying? An antenna. Remember the antenna? You had to pull it out. You know, a whole touch screen in there. You know?
And they're marketing it as it's so small as the size of a grain of rice. Oh, it's painless. It's
convenient.
Procedure.
It's convenient. People pay for convenience. That's why they're willing to give up all of their quote unquote freedoms for the sake of convenience. They're willing to put their money in a bank, right? For the sake of, I don't have to worry about it getting stolen. So I'm gonna put it in a bank where the bank has now access to all of my transactions, which we're not saying, don't get a bank. Obviously, you gotta have a bank, right? But we're telling you that it's the world is trending towards convenience. What's the other word? No, it's efficiency. You know, everything's more and more efficient, running faster, running smoother, more seamless.
5G, 6G,
yeah, you know,
Internet of Things, man.
You had a precept about? Go ahead.
This is Revelation 16, start at verse 1. And it says, "And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying of the 7th angel, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua upon the earth."
So what's being described here is a vision that was written down, a vision. John the Revelator saw angels. The Most High was communicating with the angels and telling them to do certain things, right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. "And the first went and poured out thou upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the charagma of the beast."
Yeah, you can say it. Say, man, look. I mean, I feel you right. You're being wise. You know, the MOTB.
Right.
You know, which we have to abbreviate it because now they'll flag the video if we read the scripture. You know, it says it in the Bible, but now, you know, oh, you get flagged. And it's always medical misinformation, no matter what it is now. And you notice, brothers notice that too. Before it was, you know, hate speech or, what the fuck? Bro. You know? God damn. Anyway, it's the demons, a legion, multiple voices coming out at the same time, man. You know, but now it's all medical misinformation, no matter if it's whatever it is. You know? But it says that the angel poured out a vial, okay, so that a grievous sore can fall upon anybody that takes the you know what, that takes the chip, right? So what is that going into? Individuals that take the mark, they're going to be plagued with some type of sore, some type of disease, okay? Whether it's you know, their body rejecting it, and there's going to be a curse onto them, man. And it's going to be too late. And we see a precursor of this, people taking the arm candy, and they're getting adverse reactions, man. Getting blood clots, getting allergic reactions, and it's not just, you know, 8 in a million people, man. Okay, like they would have you think. Okay, it's a considerable amount of people. People dying. Yeah, people die. I'll go so far as to say there's more people that have adverse reactions to getting the you know what, than people that's being hospitalized and dying from complications of COVID, man. Okay, because they're administering this you know what to millions of people, billions in fact, of people have received around the world have received a dose, man. Okay, and that shows you those same people that have the same mentality towards taking this man's you know, wicked concoction are the same people that's gonna say, okay, well, if we can't buy or sell anything unless we have this chip, guess we gotta take it. Right. You see that? And they're gonna be looking at the people that are refusing it crazy. They're gonna be looking at them like they're crazy for not complying, man. Just like how they look at us crazy now, for not wanting to get it, for not wanting to get the arm candy, man. Okay. Even if you walk up to them with no mask, you got people that argue with you. You might be outside, but they go, let me social distance. You got a mask on and you got jabbed up, but you still trying to social distance, man. These people are operating in fear, okay? And the scriptures say in 1 Timothy that the Lord did not give us a spirit of fear, man. Right. Okay? Was that it on your precept?
Just a little bit more.
Okay.
It says, and the first wind, back in Revelation 16:2, and the first wind and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sword.
And by the way, if you go to church and you ask your spiritual leader to break down the verses that we're going into, you're going to hear 3 words. I don't know.
It's sealed.
Or 2 words.
It's sealed.
Yeah, 3 words. It is sealed. I don't know. That's what you're going to hear. Because the Spirit of the Lord has to be working with you in order to break down the scriptures, man. And it talks about that in 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter. How the natural man or the carnal man does not receive the spiritual things of the Most High. Okay? Because wisdom has to be residing within you. Right. Okay? The Holy Spirit, the Comforter, man. That's why when we're talking about the Bible, a majority of, and we're talking, you know, to the Israelites when we come out here, but a majority of the people walk by because they don't have the understanding, they don't have the knowledge of, wow, let me pay attention to what these people are saying, because in their minds they perceive us as not credible. They perceive us as unlearned, just like how they did. If you go to Acts the 5th chapter, it said, what did the Sanhedrin say to amongst themselves? That they basically thought that they were unlearned and ignorant men, talking about Peter and the rest of the apostles. They perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant, so they discredited what they had to say before actually listening to what they were saying. Okay, and that in itself is going to lead them to destruction, man. Right. Okay. Now finish that, and then we'll get that in Micah's Bible chapter.
It says, and there fell, back in Revelation 16:2, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the MOTB, and upon them which worship his image.
Right, man. You want to break that down, or that's it?
No, that was it. You went into it. Like I said, what's that MOTB? What they're gonna inject in you is not normal. It's not something that's possibly supposed to be in your body. So basically, it's gonna cause some issues in due time. All right. You got to think when women get served implants and these little booty shots and all this, they have to keep going back and getting repaired and getting things done up. If not, the thing's gonna mess them up on the inside. Some women say they got to get the stuff taken out. So just imagine all these injections.
That's why the BBL is becoming more popularized, because it's basically a fat transfer.
Right.
You know, so obviously there's surgery involved, but instead of putting silicone in there, you just moving fat from one area of the body to the next. But that's what women are concerned about in 2021 versus the Lord coming back, man. Which, I would imagine if I was a woman, I probably would be concerned about only carnal things too, man. All right, because the scriptures talk about in Job 39 and 17 how basically the Most High didn't give the spirit of the Lord to women. Okay, or the spirit of understanding to women, man. All right, so let's go get that in Micah real quick.
Micah 2:1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning It says, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man.
It says they practice it because the power is in their hand, right? Does all the so-called white man has power, man? No. We're talking about the elites. Okay? The 1% of the 1%. The ones that they try to make it seem like don't exist, or they don't actually have as much power as people make it out. Even that video that came out, I don't know, probably 10 years ago now, of Jacob Rothschild, the guy, I don't remember his name, but he walked up to him and questioned him about certain things. Yeah, kind of. You know what I'm talking about? It's an old video, you know what I'm saying? But he just seemed like he just got out of some kind of conference or whatever, and he walked up to him and started questioning him about this and that, and he was just like, oh no, I don't know nothing about that, and shutting it off. Come on, man. Somebody's responsible for all the stuff that's going on in the earth, man. Okay? And the people, when you catch them in real, which you'll never see them, but if you were to see them, they would be downplaying it and trying to hide, all the vast amounts of power that they have, man. So they're serpents, man. They're devils. They're deceivers. Okay? The earth isn't just happenstance ruled the way it's ruled, man. All right? The people that made the decision to pass, the law for same-sex marriage and all this stuff, okay, it wasn't just Obama one day said, you know what, I'm going to pass this law. No. It was a conversation had, because guess what? If these same people said otherwise, it would still be it would be that way, man. Okay? So best believe, for the most part, everything that's going on in the world, especially in America, and in direct, what you call, first world countries, those decisions are being controlled by somebody that's most likely an Amalekite, man. Okay, of the head tribe of Esau. All right. What?
I don't know if this came out yet. Like if it did. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right. The earth is given. It says it's given into the hands of the wicked. So, matter of fact, 2nd Ezra 6:9. I quoted it earlier. It says it's given into the hands of the wicked. So now you might think, well, why would the Lord give the earth into the hands of the wicked? And the short answer, is so that Israel could be judged, man.
Right.
And also, matter of fact, Zechariah chapter 2, we're talking about, matter of fact, Zechariah chapter 3, we're talking about the apple of the Lord's eye. Go ahead, Al.
2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
It says, Esau is the end of the world. That's intentional. All right? So, the end of the world, that's another hot phrase, right? What they call it, a trigger word. That's another, a thing, the end of the world, the end of the world. Everybody keep talking about the end of the world. Well, it's because we're in those times. It says Esau is the end of the world. That's why this man doesn't want to admit that he's Esau. Because if he admits that he's Esau, then all you got to do is go to Isaiah the 47th chapter, Isaiah the 14th chapter, Revelation the 18th chapter, 2nd Ezra the 6th chapter, okay? Job 9 and 24, Job 20th chapter that talks about Esau being put down. Malachi 1, did we get Malachi 1 already? Okay, Malachi the 1st chapter that talks about Esau being put down in a place where he deserves, which is being the lowest on the totem pole, man. Slavery. Let's get the sign, bro. Because according to this history, which he teaches niggas that they came from Africa. Your origin is Africa.
Right.
You were heathens. You were savages before we came over here, before we brought you over here in chains. Where, by the way, only 50% of you survived the trip because we packed you tighter than a fucking can of sardines, okay? And we domesticated you. We taught you English. We didn't teach you how to read and write because then you'd organize and rebel against us, okay? But we taught you how to, basically pick cotton and work for us. Right. Now you have the pleasure of America. 400 years later, okay? Now you have the pleasure of enjoying still slavery, man, because you still gotta pay taxes, okay? You still are an employee, all right? According to the Emancipation Proclamation, which what people give credit for Abraham Lincoln for freeing the slaves, which is only transferring of ownership from the individual to the state, man, okay?
Hey, like if I can say this too, also according to the 13th Amendment, that slavery is legal if somebody committed crimes. So after slavery happened, you had the Reconstruction era, and what was going on with all these unlawful, these unrighteous decrees were going out, unrighteous laws were going out to basically get so-called Negroes and Latinos locked up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Jaywalking, all these things. They were created basically to keep these people on this side enslaved, man.
Right. Yep. Even Juneteenth, the holiday of Juneteenth, the history of Juneteenth.
Yep.
Congratulations, niggas. We made y'all free. 2 years after you were proclaimed free by the president. We waited so long to tell you. By the way, they got the information way sooner than 2.5 years. Okay, but they had to go into I can't remember. It was Texas, but I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember which. I'm trying to remember which city it was. It might have been. It was one of them port cities. They had to come in through the Gulf of Mexico, okay, and pretty much read it and say, look, hey, slaves here. Slavery is illegal. You cannot have slaves, man. Here, man. Okay. 2 years after it was officially proclaimed. You know, and the reason why Esau was keeping that from going in, if you read up on the history of Juneteenth, they would basically, anybody that was trying to bring the news, like a regular, news person or whatever, they would cut them off. Nope, can't bring that here. Nope, can't let them know they're free. So they was working for 2 more years, all that. Of course, it was wicked the whole 400 plus years anyway. But come on, man. Yep. According to your law, it's legal, but you still gonna say that we slaves, man? It's like, y'all, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add on. Even after, you have to understand, even after slavery, you had terms like sharecropping, which was really a form of indentured servitude.
Yep,
man.
Absolutely.
Like, people don't understand that. Like, my grandparents were sharecroppers, bro. They grew up on like a plantation. You see what I'm saying? Like, here in Texas, desegregation didn't happen well until the 1970s. You know what I'm saying? So there's a huge income gap. You know what I'm saying? It happened here.
For example, Highland Park, University Park. You were not allowed, I'll say it like that. I don't live there, so I don't know if there's any niggas there, but good luck finding one, okay, that actually owns the house. And they talking about matter of fact, you can't even rent. You can't even rent those houses out. You have to own it, And they have it like that because, I forget the terminology, but basically you have areas of the city that, this happened in a lot of major cities. I believe they talk about what was that documentary where they go into buck breaking and all of these different things that happened during slavery? Hidden Color. Yeah, or that's what it's called, right?
Hidden something, yeah.
Hidden. Yeah, this is called Hidden Colors, right? They go into that in that documentary, I believe. Well, it is part of it, but basically, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like, only, you know, only. I'll say like this: it'll be red areas, yellow areas, and blue areas on the map. Okay, red areas on the map in a certain metroplex represent. There's a lot of so-called Negroes, Latinos in that area. So don't buy any property in that area because the value of that property is going to go down. Okay. Also, if it was in a area that's, you know, highlighted in blue, then that's safe. You know, that's untouched. That's prime real estate right there. And if you go up to Lemon Avenue and all the way up into you know, like I said, going into Highland Park, University Park, in between 75 and Dallas North Tollway, in that area right there, that's prime real estate, man. It's the most quietest areas of Dallas you'll ever see. But you go over there to South Dallas, you go over there to Oak Cliff, Lancaster, nothing but niggas, man. Okay, Mesquite, because again, they made it to where it's not segregated really. All right, you know, niggas, you can drive up through there, but you're not gonna find nobody that own no homes over there, man. Okay, and that's intentional, man.
It's a term called social discrimination, where it's not outright discrimination, but they discriminate based on your income. You see what I'm saying? We know who has the income. And what the brother is going into also is a term called gerrymandering, to where they'll rezone a certain area to where a certain group demographics votes is drowned because they're in a certain zone. Say for instance, like in North Dallas, you have a lot of nice areas in North Dallas, but you have a lot of places that's dilapidated or hood, right? Let's just keep it funky, right? So that area, that zone, you might have spots that's, you know what I'm saying, hood, but the majority of the area, or not even majority of the area, a pocket of the area votes the most, and that's representative of that whole area. So there's a lot of legislation that's passed that's not advantageous for the poor.
Yep.
See, now it's more strategic. You know what I'm saying? The hatred towards you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans is more subtle. They don't call you a nigga anymore. They call you a thug. You know what I'm saying? They label you that way. They say certain key words to one another. Right. Oh, he's woke. Now that's the term they use now. That fake woke stuff. That's on. I actually see that on bumper stickers. Instead of saying Black Lives Matter, they say, well, back to blue, which we don't condone. We're not for Black Lives Matter.
Right.
BLM. We're not for that. You know what I'm saying? Because all Black lives doesn't matter.
Right. Not all lives matter either.
Not all lives matter.
Damn sure not that.
But no. You know, but he strategically puts you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans at the bottom. And also he gives you a political party that really isn't advantageous for you, man. Because if you had your mind, or if you were being smart and logical, you want to talk about gaining more money, you would vote Republican. Right? Because really, they're using the so-called Negro as a platform to push socialism. Right? To push transgenderism.
Right. Man.
Homosexuality. Right. Off the premises of, well, you've been discriminated against, right? You're black, you know how it feels. You know?
Now you got to sin against your power to be accepted amongst the damn devil, which you should never even want to be, because again, we know that we're superior to them, man.
Right.
Okay? And just because you may be, you know, fair skinned, you know, doesn't make you an Edomite. Nope. You know, because you got brothers out here that's, you know, could pass for so-called white. You know what I'm saying? But they have the spirit of an Israelite residing within them, because it goes back to who your father is, man.
This man right here is an Israelite. You're an Israelite.
You know, and it's not about if you believe you're an Israelite or not. It's about what your literally what your lineage goes back to, your nationality, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which we can get that in Numbers, the first chapter, but you can get that word you had.
I had a precept. Revelation 12:10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which cast them before our power day and night.
Can you start from the top, Bible Show?
Revelation 12:10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
That's right. The accuser of our brethren is cast down. Is that the word that means? Okay.
Category.
Okay. Water, brother.
Water bar. This is the word for accuser in this scripture here in Revelation 12:10. So like Satan started acting up.
Take your time, baby. It's all good. Because that word accuser, what he's gonna bring out, it basically means categoria. Where you get for the words category. So he's able to put us in these certain stereotypes, right, for his benefit. You so-called Negro males, you're violent. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You Latinos, you guys, you tend to steal. You're illegal.
You're rapist.
You're rapists. You're bringing in drugs.
Right.
You know.
You Native Americans, they
natives,
step on you.
You guys are just a bunch of jerks.
Yeah. They slap you around and call you
right.
Susan.
Right. And they believe that, man. I was actually watching a documentary about Native Americans, how the Native Americans were trying to get off of like drugs, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And you had in the comment boards, they was like, well, this is why their children are getting taken away from, because there's a bunch of drunks. This is what they think about us. You know what I'm saying? But he places us in these ridiculous situations to do what? He places us in these ridiculous situations to do what? To basically persecute us against our Heavenly Father. Hey, get that in Jeremiah 50. I think it's around 5. Baba Kasha. It says the leaders of this people and led them astray. 6.
This is Jeremiah 50:6. It says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
That's right. The shepherds of our people have caused them to go astray. Look at the feminist movement, man, which really was not for you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American women. The first feminists, the first generation or the first wave, really was for white women, man, and a lot of them were pro-eugenics, meaning they wanted to destroy the races that they deemed as insufficient and uplift the race that they deemed that was fit, which is in that time what? The so-called white race. So they said, you know what? We need, as white women, we need better access to education, access to take care of our bodies when it comes to having children. Because we don't have a child with a degenerate, right? We want to proliferate the gene, right? So that movement was for white people. It wasn't for you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And then later, in the second wave of feminists, that's when you so-called Negro women were added. In the 1960s and 1970s, man. And what happened? The destruction of the household. And now you had a third wave, which most people profess that the third wave feminists, they don't even have a meaning. They're therefore exploring their sexuality. And with that being said, what's brought into the feminist movement? Transgenderism, right? Trans women's rights, right? All types of madness. and you women are out there and you're dying by yourself, right? You're having children out of wedlock, right? The household is totally destroyed. You're dependent on the government. Secondly, and your race is totally destroyed, man. But that all came from what? It came from Esau, Edom.
Right.
We're gonna finish this and I got you.
Back in Jeremiah 50:6, it says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountains to hills.
That's right, and that word, and the mountain represents power, right? So our people's power has been taken away from them by doing what? By worshiping these other gods. Go ahead, Al.
It says, they have gone from the mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
That's right. Now, our people have forgotten their resting place. What is our people's resting place? The resting place is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Now, if you look around, look at our people, man. Bugged out their damn mind. You got Milli Vanilli over here. What is it? A joke. Shalom Saquon.
In the same way that we, as a prophets, look at our people, the so-called white man is looking at them the same way. Which a nigga, a 2/3, quote-unquote nigga is nothing but the creation of the so-called white man. He is the one that's the main drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? He's the main terrorist. Woe to the bloody city, man. As we're gonna get in Micah 2, they covered fields, man. He's the true Al Capone gangster. Ride on your brother, kill your brother, man. It's him.
Yep.
And you see it trickle down to you so-called Negroes, which he targets through, he gets your leaders, like the priests are going into. He gets your leaders. LeBron James, he bows the knee. I'ma take the juice. Now what's all his millions of fans gonna go do? Get the juice, man. Right? And he gets you through his leaders, through your education and music, various ways. You got it.
Like what Malak was saying, and doing it like the music and things like that. If you look back in the day, look at like Denzel Washington, all the movies and all the good movies, great actor. He had to play a certain role to actually, for them to say, huh, here go an accolade, which ain't nothing but another idol like Grammy and things like that. Then they come over to like Halle Berry, The Greatest Hurt. You know what I'm saying? Had to get Billy Bob, whoever his name, to basically do a thing. They said it was real. You never know, but you know what I'm saying? She got her accolades for that. Then you look at like the music. What is it? Hard Out Here to Be With Him, 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's one of the best songs. That's one of the first rap songs that got a Emmy. Grammy, one of those. But the thing is, they do that to basically look at y'all and laugh. You know, this is something that they doing, like the rat race. These rich, elite, and all these other people are showing you, look, we'll do this and give y'all something to show y'all, like, look at this. And this is basically showing you your people and looking up to that. Now everybody's okay to be looking raunchy and letting Edomite run all up in you, you know, in public. Like, just do as you will. This is something that Esau has set up for the downfall of our people, as we just said in the scripture, to bring us down from a mountain to a hill to worship these idol gods that Esau gave.
That's it. There's a little bit more on there. Let's see. What's up? Yeah. 3:7. No, that's not. I can read 7. Go ahead.
This is verse 7, Jeremiah 50:7. All that found them have devoured them.
Oh, so going to what the brother, the priest just brought out. All they have found them have devoured them, man. You know, that's precisely what's going on. Our people are being devoured mentally, man.
Right.
Mentally being basically led to the death, and we see that going on now with this whole inoculation thing. A lot of people are dropping dead, man. We're starting to hear more and more cases of people taking the inoculation and they're getting deathly ill.
24 hours later. On
the spot. My girl was just telling me today, you know what I'm saying, one of her relatives took it. He throwing up, memory loss. That's just for one shot. Imagine taking 5 or 6 of them, which they're advocating booster shots and things of that nature. Heck, what's going on in Israel now? They had the highest rate of people inoculated, but most of those people who took it are sick, hospitalized. You know, the people are being wiped off, man. You know, and the number one person who's advocating it is the so-called Negro.
Right.
But yet, in the media, they're saying that black people don't want to take it because they're skeptical. You know? So they're using reverse psychology, man, on our people, man. Okay? Hey, Malak, did you ask something?
Because Habakkuk 2:15, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him that maketh him drunkard. Also that he may look upon their nakedness. That's just going into exactly what the brother's talking about, you know. The Native Americans first, you know what I mean, being called, you know, because of the liquor and stuff that they was given. You know, he had a lot of chicks. I was trying to get off that. And then we go into the 80s, you know, when he brings in the drugs, you know what I mean, to our communities and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's always about, you know, like the scripture say, you know, the abuse of our brother. You know what I mean? So, and even now, that inoculation is that bottle right now. That's being pushed out here. You know, you look at the nakedness and the shame of not only Jake, but just the nations in general.
Right.
You know, but this is what this man does, you know. And, you know, they get off on us walking around here with these masks on, man, and you know what I mean, doing the social distancing and doing all this here mess. You know, they think it could be a joke and it's funny, you know. You know, this is all part of the Heavenly Father's movement, you know. I just want to add that. I was just going into what the brother was saying.
I can quickly say that was a picture where they had like the president, vice president, and a lot of the I don't know if they were congressmen or what. They were standing up and they took a picture or the video was going, and all of them had on their masks. But as soon as the video went off, somebody recording them, I guess, with a phone, and all of them started taking their mask off and shaking hands and stuff. Just did it for show. As soon as the camera's off, they go back to doing what they're doing. Now, tell me one thing. Now you gotta look what Esau doing. He always puts a Jacob there to be the first to do something, like receive the jab and say this is what you need to get, and then you have your congressman, the one that make the laws, they're exempt from receiving it.
Lord have mercy.
Ain't that, why you don't think about that?
Right, man. So there's a lot of craftiness that's being pushed out. You know, and then utilizing you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans as stepping stones, man, as pawns for his wicked agenda. That's why they have people like Nicki Minaj come in and speak to the White House about the inoculation. Now, why would you choose somebody like Nicki Minaj to come and speak to the White House, you know what I'm saying, about inoculations? Because of her influence on the children, man. Right? Which shows you that a lot of these songs is really witchcraft. The only time they want to get serious is when they're pushing an agenda.
Right.
Go out there and vote. Take the inoculation. Black Lives Matter. You got people out there that made songs that talk about killing, things of that nature, but then they come out with a song talking about Black Lives Matter. But hold on, your whole CD is talking about how much you hate niggas.
The whole block.
Yeah. I heard niggas say, I hate you niggas, I'm a racist. Moneybag Yo said that. He said, I hate you niggas, I'm a racist. But yet, Black Lives Matter. Which shows you that's an agenda. Okay? Let's go back to that one right there.
It's back in Jeremiah 50, verse 7. And it says, all that found them have devoured them. And their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Most High.
That's really what I wanted, man. So our people have been turned into niggas, speaks, and Uncle Tomahawks. Why is that? these racial epithets. Why? From who? Or by who, I should say? By our oppressor, man. And so that narrative of our people being niggas is permeated in our minds. Think about what black culture is. Okay? Black culture is nothing but remnants of white culture.
Right.
It's nothing but remnants of what? Of what they deem as right, or deem as lusts, chitlins. You know what I'm saying? Modern day R&B, right? Soul food, right? Hip hop. You know, yeah. They just put a twist on that wickedness, man. Okay. And because of that, Esau Edom deems himself as guiltless. Like, we're not doing anything. They're doing that by themselves. That's a part of the curses, man. Because we'll find out another way. We're going to be made proverbs and bywords. Can you get that up?
Yep.
Right? We are the epitome of all the negative stereotypes. You know, and they use these scientific false jargons, right, to push a narrative that we're inferior, and our people eat it up. You talk to this person on the street, they say, you know, hey, I had a conversation with females. They say, yeah, you know, white people are just more smarter than us. They believe that narrative. Think about that. If your woman, the majority of your women believe that an opposite male is superior to you, what is she going to do? Well, she's going to follow it after another man. That's a casualty of war. The casualties of war are very, very dire or extreme. One aspect of war is you get your woman took. Right? And that's precisely what happened to our women, mentally speaking, and also physically in a lot of cases. And now we war one another to sleep with another man's woman out of hatred. Right? Who do we get that from? Go ahead, Al.
Deuteronomy 28:37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee. Yeah, man. Okay, you're gonna become a proverb and a byword, man. What's a example of a proverb and a byword? Nigga, spit, tomahawk, wetback, illegal, savage. You see? These are terms given unto you by the so-called white man, the oppressor, man. Right. So the devil according to the Bible.
So when they see us, that's what they naturally think.
Right. I got another one.
Right? So anything that's pro-black, they're going to see as terroristic.
Right.
They're going to see it as a threat. But really, we're just telling our people, we're out here telling our people to get it together. We were you want niggas to clean it up, right? Well, hey, we out here reading the Bible. Right. You want Latinos to clean it up, right? We're out here reading the Bible, giving them order. You think they see that way? No. Well, all these people, these brothers out here, this is a threat to them.
Right.
Because they need us in a stupefied state. That's why when you go on your job and you're serious-minded, the dooming will come to you and say, I don't see any laughing going on. What's going on here? You know? You having a hard time?
Right. Tough life at home, huh?
Tough life? Because they want you in a happy and joyous state. But the scriptures prescribe something vastly different, man. It says you better go to the house of mourning. That's right. Right? What's that scripture says that a righteous man scarcely smile? Loosely paraphrasing? Because you're in a very thoughtful mindset, man, especially in the times that we're living in now. right? Now Esau Edom, what he's doing, he's coming to you, and he wants to talk politics, and he wants to say, you know, we're all the same. It's us against them, brother, right? Because he needs you to believe in his narrative. Okay, go ahead, Op.
Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?
That's right. So when they hear anything that's uplifted towards their people, they laugh at it. Oh, y'all was Cains. You know? Oh, you must be fake woke. I can't stand that fake woke. Right? You must be a reverse racist. Right? Which being racist is not a bad thing. It just means you're for your people. Yeah. Now, oppression is a whole new other thing, man. But you standing up for your people, right? And pointing out the wickedness of Esau Edom is a threat. And even if he does give you a platform to point out racism, guess what? He's still, underliningly, you're still pushing his agenda. Just case in point, D.L. Hughley, he has a platform where he talks about racism. But what is he pushing though? He's pushing, man, take that jab. Hey, submit. You're not gonna be able to, you better get ready. He said this too. Legally, you know, these states can't make you, but these corporations can, so you better get ready for that.
Fear, pushing fear.
Pushing fear mongering. Doubt.
Come on, man.
Yep. So he's still pushing the narrative.
Right.
He talk about racism, but yet he tell you to go out there and vote for somebody like Joe Biden, who passed the crime law in 1994, man.
Right.
Which got millions of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans locked up.
Man.
A dang snake. Just call it how it is, bro.
Hey, the Tuskegee experiments was racist. All the atrocities and crimes done to the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, that was racist, man. What about that?
Yeah, and people forget, man, that in the 1990s, the Clinton administration was going to South and Central America and giving them syphilis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This is in the 1990s, and they came out recently and apologized in the early 2000s. People forget that, bro.
Watch this off.
Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 16, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth.
That's right.
They say, we have swallowed her up.
That's right. They gnash their teeth and look at us as prey. Right? They use all these stereotypes, you know what I'm saying, to demonize us so they can rationalize destroying us.
Right.
And it's so cold because, you know, these stereotypes we're starting to live. We become them stereotypes, man. Right? The stereotype of the so-called black woman being Latino woman and Native American being over-sexualized. Now look at our women. We just see the woman basically had a damn napkin on, titties out.
Out. They walk down the street with their husband or the man they're laying down with, with no clothes on.
Right. Real quick, we just kind of back up the verse we just read. This is Psalms 56 and verse 2. It says, my enemies would daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me. O Yahweh, the Most High. O thou, Yahweh. Hey, and like you say, it's many enemies that fight against us. Like you say, Esau is his agenda, but yet you have the other nations, as it goes into Psalms 83.
Yeah.
They actually have banned against with Esau to keep us as that hill, as we just went by earlier. I mean, from that mountain to hill, they had some involvement in that. So they're going to get it too. And like I say, even the wicked men of Israel. So everybody that's not with Yahweh Shem Yahushai is against them. And they are with the world. And what did Yahushai say? If you are with the world, then you against me.
That's right.
You know how he loved not the world.
That's right. There's an actually term called middleman minority, where you have minority groups that act like a buffer between the higher ups, the top social group, you know what I'm saying, or race, and the bottom, which are you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And who are these people? Well, those various groups are named in Psalms the 83rd chapter. That's why when you go to the hood, who has the stores? The Moabites, the Ishmaelites, right? Cushites, right? They're all benefiting off of selling you poison,
Right.
you know? In every hood you can go to a Chinese buffet. Why? You think that's coincidence?
Hair store.
Hair store,
Smoke shop.
smoke shop, and these hair stores are making millions of dollars. Millions of dollars, man.
Yep.
Right? Off of selling women, our women, the so-called Negro and Latinos too, bro.
Yep.
Fake hair. Idumean or Edomite hair. For those who are new to this, the so-called white man version of hair. That's why women are walking around with blonde hair. Look ridiculous. But where did she get that from? She got that from a so-called Chinese man, a so-called Arab. Up there in New York, the various bodegos that you could go to that's 24 hours. What are they doing to these little girls? Right? They're having sex with them.
Yep.
Okay? Let's get that to Psalms 83 just to prove what I said. Bible Kashar?
A little bit more on this lamentation. Oh,
We go back to that. I just want to prove what I said.
This is Psalms 83.
Yeah. Verse
It's verse 2, Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
Yeah.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
That's right. So they have taken crafty counsel against our people, man. You know? Hey, when the 1964 Civil Rights Act was reformed, who was included? The Asians. Off the backs of what? BLM, Black Lives Matter. They were included as a protected group. But yet the people who are getting shot in the street receive no benefits.
Right.
In fact, BLM is infamous for stealing millions of dollars from various families, from the members who were shot by police officers.
Right.
Okay? But yet, there's no legislation being passed for you so-called Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, males. Right? Black Lives Matter, right? Right? Black Lives Matter? Black Lives Matter? Does it matter when a baby's in the womb? Okay. You should speak to your sister about these abortions. Go ahead, Doc.
Psalms 83 and 5. It says, for they have consulted together with one consent. Let me go it says verse 4. Psalms 83 and 4. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
That's right. And they're confederate. That means they've made pacts to be against us, man. Right? That's why there's such disdain for us when we go to these various neighborhoods, these Chinese neighborhoods. Which is so fun because us standing up here is racist, but the Moabites can have a whole segment of the town and call it Chinatown. The Elamites, the Indians, East Indians, they can have a whole segment of a town and call it Little India. And Houston, they had that. Have a statue of Gandhi. But that's not racist. But us coming up out here and standing up, that's the problem, bro. You know? That's a problem.
But that ain't a problem back there with all that screaming.
Yeah, they are. That's terroristic.
Back in Psalms 83 verse 6, it says, start at verse 5 again, get to the point. It says, for they have taken consulted together against with one consent, they have confederate against thee, the tabernacle of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes.
That's right. Can you read that one more time, Mark?
It says, they have taken crafty counsel together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
That's right.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Esau Edom is the so-called white man. Hey, do we have the nation signs? This for education. You know? Yeah, I hold it. I'm showing my game. Go ahead,
Back in verse 6, it says, the tabernacle of Edom and the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites are the Ishmaelites are the Arabs. Right here. Arabs. Go ahead, Doc.
It says, of Moab.
Moab is the so-called Chinese. Okay? Okay? Go ahead, Doc.
And the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes, I believe they're Hamites. Hamites are, now, this is good. Hamites are so-called Africans. We are not Africans, right? We are Shemitic. We come from Shem. We don't come from Ham. If you look up in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, they'll let you know that the descendants of Ham are the Africans, but not the so-called Negro.
Right.
Does anybody have one, by the way?
I can pull that excerpt. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Does anybody have you pulling it up? Okay, you stay where you at, Doc. You just stay where you at and he'll pull it up. Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Back in Psalms 83, verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon.
Ammon is the Japanese. All these people, you can see them have businesses where? In the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American neighborhoods, man. And in some places, it's enmity. Case in point, in the 1990s, even present day, what was going on with the Koreans versus Jake? We had the little girl that got shot back in like '94, right? Got shot by that one store owner. Y'all remember that? Little girl got shot in the back by that Korean. So when Rodney King, when that ordeal was happening, what stores were being burnt up? The Korean stores, and they took up arms to fight against the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, man. Right? More racist, even present day, more racist rhetoric is coming. Look at it. Look at this day. More racist rhetoric is coming out. It's funny, guys. A Moabite walking by with turned up, with a face all turned up, like she spelled like she spelled something stinky. You see that? That's the spirit.
Right.
But anyway, even presently speaking, there's more clips of Asians coming up against so-called Negroes. And now they're pushing that narrative and say, well, my life matters too. I'm a minority.
Right.
And who are they using to push the narrative they're being discriminated against? You so-called Negro males, man. Judah, the head tribe. Because there's always been enmity there.
Right.
Okay? Did you get that out? Go ahead, my brother.
This is in the Zondervan Compact Bible. All right, it goes into the definitions. All right, it's essentially a dictionary for the Bible. All right, when you go into Ham, which is hum in the Hebrew.
I'm sorry, Black. You mind raising your voice a little bit?
When you go into Ham, which is hum in the Hebrew, and if I'm not mistaken, it means hot.
Yeah.
It says the youngest son of Noah, right? Because you had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. It says born probably around or about 96 years before the flood. It says, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. It says he became, and this is the point, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. It says, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites.
That's right. Did you catch what he said? Read that one more time a little bit slower. And they emphasize where it says, but not the Negro.
It says Ham, he became the progenitor of the dark races.
That's right, of the dark races. You know what I'm saying? People with our complexion. Go ahead, Doc.
Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians.
But not the Negroes. Not us.
Right.
Go ahead.
But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
That's right, the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Canaanites, which are not our people, but separate. You see? You say somebody had a question?
Yeah, I got a precept.
You got a precept? Okay, go ahead, Doc.
All right, this is Exodus 11, chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that you may know that the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Woo!
That was it.
That's a good one, brother. That's right. The Most High put a difference between us, man. You gotta understand. Prior to like 1493, the people who were ruling were mainly dark skinned, man. The world was mainly ruled by dark skinned people.
That's right.
But then you had, you know what I'm saying, after the Persian Empire fall, you had the Greeks coming in power, right? And with the Greeks coming in power, what did they do? They Hellenized the known world.
Right.
And then after that, you had Rome, right? And when the inception of Rome came, that was really the inception of the image of the beast, bro. You see? But prior to that, they were all dark skinned. You know, now they weren't Israelites, but they were people of color.
Right.
The Persians, people of color. Before that, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, Assyrians, people of color. You see what I'm saying? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, the true nation of Israel, people of color.
Right.
Right?
Quick to say, you know, the Roman Empire, it became a lot of people of color. That's when they go in like to Acts 10 with Cornelius and the things like that. You got to think, as the Roman Empire grew, you had a lot of I didn't kill everybody. If you're a soldier, you can join, you know, either join or you can perish, or you can basically, they made providence. So you could basically become part of Rome. Okay, you might be over here in this section of the world, but you want to basically got to pay taxes to us, and basically you're a part of Rome now. So you could be in different type of nations. What do you say? So-called dark race. You could be a J, so-called Black, Latino, Native American. Long as you, give allegiance to Rome,
Yeah.
then you can basically rule your sector, just pay taxes to it.
Yeah.
Now, we go to war, you got to be with us.
Yeah.
So basically, what did that bring for? A mixture of people. That's why Paul said, I am too am a Roman.
Great point. That's a great point. Yep, they were made tributaries, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's really why Rome was so massive and profound, because shoot, the people who they conquered, they made them a part of that of that empire. They made them a part of, made them soldiers, man. You know, they Romanized them.
Mm-hmm. What did Rome get? They got their technology. They got anything that was beneficial. It came to Rome. They helped Rome grow with certain weaponry and things like that.
That's right. And you see that that going on with it, that went on in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s with colonialism, right? Because what happened to the continent of Africa, where it really was split up. As different segments were colonized, not only there, but in Central America, right? To where that web was spread up. And then even after that, what was going on? Well, America was setting up coups. Woo, shit. America was setting up coups and things of that nature, right? To do what? To basically put in a puppet so they could control their country.
That's right.
We seen that going on contemporarily. With who? Well, with the whole situation in Venezuela.
Right.
That was a failed coup attempt by the Trump administration.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead, Doc.
This is Micah 2, start at verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and they take them by violence. The houses, and they take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Woo! We see that going on where? In Afghanistan, bro. Afghanistan was the longest war here in America. Lasted over 20 years, man. Yeah, I think, no, it lasted for 20 years, excuse me. But they went over there in 2001. They've been occupying that space for 2 decades. And what happened to Afghanistan? Well, it crumbled. The natural resources, like the minerals, things of that nature, were stripped. The opium that was produced there was stripped. You know what I'm saying? The production of opium went up. It says 300%. That's why you had such a epidemic of pills and things of that nature here in the U.S., which is really heroin based, man.
Right.
Right.
They like to sing about lean and things of that nature.
Right.
You got to catch a song from Moneybagg Yo out, Waukesha, right? Talking about lean, but what's in lean? Heroin. That's why it's so addictive. Okay? Go ahead, Doc.
Habakkuk 2:5. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death.
And the brother just brought out that wine is going into his philosophy, man. You see, because he transgresses with that wine, with the premises of democracy and freeing the people, he's able to go in there, bomb the place, liberate the degenerates,
Right.
alluding to homosexuals, transgenders, take the head wrap off of women, and say, man, y'all don't have to listen to y'all, man. You know? And totally westernized or Romanized or Hellenized that area.
Right.
To do what? To set up his political power. They did the same thing with Iran.
Right.
You know? What happened in Iran? Well, in the 1950s, America was getting cheap oil over there. But Iran privatized that basically their oil reserves, kicked America out, so they set up a coup and put a puppet in there. And what happened? Well, they began to become westernized, man.
Right.
Until they kicked that emperor out, and ever since then, Iran has been demonized, man. Iran has been barred from basically global the global economy. You see? So anybody who doesn't get with America and its agenda, you're X'd out. Right? What happened to Haiti? That's such a long history of there. What happened to Afghanistan? Right? Those who don't comply, the leader is assassinated, and that country is left in turmoil, man. Millions of people have been displaced because of them not wanting to comply, or that country not wanting to, particular country not wanting to comply with America, man.
If I could quickly say, look what happened to Gaddafi.
Yeah.
over there. What did they do? They set up rebels to go overtake his what they call it, his what you call him? You got the infantry. Yeah, it's like his empire, his army.
Right.
And basically they set up no-fly zone over his country. So basically he could not utilize his jets and things like that, or America was going to shoot him down. So what he had to do? Basically he had to have a ground war with rebels that was supplied by who? His enemy.
That's right.
All right. He really does things, and then he'll report and say, "Look what they doing. We got to stop this.
We got to stop these.
We got to stop these people."
Yeah. The tyrant. He's a tyrant. He's killing his people.
But yeah, he's throwing bombs around, over his back.
Yep.
Why he ain't looking?
And prior to that, the people I forget what country that is, man. They said North Africa, but they were getting a free college education. Yeah, I know. I forget the country though. It's like Libya. Thank you. They were getting a free college education. If you got a child, they were giving you money. You know what I'm saying? Free electricity, free water. They were living good, man.
You have a baby get like $40,000,
yeah,
something like that.
He was taking care of it. But what happened was he was trying to get away from that American dollar and set up basically a currency for Africa, right, that was gold based, right? And so that was going to weaken the American dollar. So what did he do? What did they do? They took him out, man. Same thing happened in Venezuela with Hugo Chavez. Iraq. You know what I'm saying? What, Saddam Hussein? Mm-hmm. They executed that man on live television, bro.
I saw it.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it in social studies. We watched like we just all sit back and watch this dude get hung, bro. And we like, yeah, America. Damn. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. So this man's wine is very crafty, man. You know? People want to talk about Bill Cosby date rape drug, man. You ain't see, hey. That's likened to America's philosophy, man.
Right.
You know? You look the hell up. You go out drinking with America. You look the hell up. You goddamn me handcuffed to a bed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You in the episode of Saul, goddamn me. Saul 17. If you want to survive, cut your hand off. Like, damn.
That's like.
And that's what, I'm being facetious, but damn. This man right here is off the chain, bro. Go ahead, Doc.
This is Revelation 6, verse 8. It's going to what the brother going to earlier about when Esau, wherever he goes, hell is basically he's a harbinger of death. This is Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
That's right. Hey, who is that? That's the Idumeans, man. That man that when you sit on a horse, that basically goes into power, man. Remember when Django came out and what's my man name? Samuel L. Jackson. I knew that was him. He was like, "What is this nigga doing on that head?" He was appalled. Why is that? Because that represents power, man. Right. Hey, when you got a sports car, you brag on how much horsepower it has.
Right. Yep. Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
Why is that? Because that represents speed, power. That engine, man. The engine has power. So when you read this in Revelation, when it talks about the white pale horse, right? Let's talk about a man sitting on power. And what is his power? Well, his power is death. And we know that this is talking about Esau Edom according to what? According to Genesis. Let's get that in Genesis, the blessing of Esau Edom.
She ain't even a real Egyptian. We talking about her kind. She ain't even a real Egyptian.
No, she's an Arab. She don't even know what she's talking about. Just a lame mo. Go ahead, Doc.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26, and or 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Yep.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above.
That's right.
It says, And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Now, if you're not familiar with who Jacob and Esau is, these are the sons of Isaac. Okay? They were paternal twins, right? One came out dark skinned and the other came out light. Okay? Now, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, you come from this gentleman here, Jacob. And your blessing is to rule the earth. But according to Deuteronomy 28, starting at verse 15, because we didn't abide by the rules, we've been cast down. That's why we're being relegated to the hood.
Right.
Right? That's why we are proverbs and bywords. And that's this old English for stereotypes. Right?
Right.
That's why there's so much enmity between really us two. The so-called Latino and the so-called Negro. That's a part of the curses. That's why your household is in turmoil. Right? That's why your children are being sold into slavery, in particular the so-called Latino. Right? Coming over here trying to get a better life for your children, and they're taking your children and selling them dang on slavery. Right? Put them into work camps, selling them to pedophiles. For the reason, if you believe in a higher power in God, you have to ask yourself, well, why is God allowing that to happen? Right? Why is he allowing this to happen to my people? Well, we are here to tell you.
Right.
Well, the reason why is because you're not abiding by the laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Right? So he set up somebody in his indignation, or really ultimately his plan, right? To teach the children, the nation of Israel, his children, the children of God, a lesson. We're learning complete hell.
Right.
And real soon we're gonna learn complete heaven.
That's right.
That just shows the power of the Most High. Right. He can do whatever he wants to. Look at that. Look at this nigga, man.
Hey, look at
Yup. About to get hit.
It would have been good.
Turn up. Turn up.
That's
Hey,
that-
baby
that's
girl,
that
have
chick-
fun.
That's that chick that ran into that, they got into a car wreck talking about, it's my birthday. Drove off and shit. Shitting on 99. Look, we got the car now.
Let's read the scriptures, man. All right, let's go. Yeah, Slack, y'all. Let's finish that. Woo, woo.
Genesis 27 and 40.
Ultimate. Victorious ultimate.
It says, And by thy sword shalt thou live, right?
That's
And
right.
sword just essentially, translated into nowadays, here in the future, because this was written,
Right.
all those thousands of years ago, is going into what? Weaponry.
Right.
That's why Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, rules the way he does, because what? He's the first to develop the atomic bomb. ICBM missiles, thermonuclear missiles. It's been given into his hands. So this was Esau coming into his father on his deathbed, Isaac, and asking for something, because essentially, what was it? He had the birthright to begin with, but he gave it up for a fucking stoop.
Right.
Right. Being impulsive.
Right.
And that's a vibration that's here in America. If you're thirsty, why wait? If you feel a certain way, act upon it. You know what I'm saying? Live by your flesh. A very animalistic mindset, bro. And that's really how Esau Edom rules, right? In a very animalistic and in a very violent way.
Right.
Well, that's a part of that sword, right? He'll cut your ass down, and that weaponry goes into many many fashions, man. Music will be a part of weaponry. You see that woman just tripping the hell out?
Right.
She has spirits on her. Why is that? Because of the music. Right? Dang on philosophy, right? That's pushed on our people. That's a part of his weaponry. All these things he uses in order to control the people, bro.
Right.
That's a part of that sword. And of course, that gun. You know? You have more than that?
Genesis 27:40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? And essentially, that's what happened, man. Now they're back in the power seat, but it's only for a short time, man. Because the scripture says in Job that when he's about to fill his belly, you know, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna smack him down and put him where he belongs.
Right.
Right? Last verse, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob, and that's a perpetual hatred pursuant to Ezekiel the 35th chapter. It carries all the way into today, man. All right? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
That's right. And you see that even now, man, there's a certain level of jealousy that so-called white people have towards you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man.
Right.
You know? I mean, one time, me and a couple of brothers, we were at the bar chilling, watching the game, and we were just talking, and then we had to start having a conversation with a white dude, you know, being cordial, and he just busted out and said, "Well, we're not cool like you guys. We're not black, okay?" Like, where did that come from? There's an infatuation with us, man.
Right.
A very demented and sick infatuation, right? You know?
Infatuation, that's going all the way back to what we're reading there. He just said Esau, he wasn't no man that just go around crying all the time. He go out in the field, he hunt. So you gotta think he might have been a burly old white man, basically.
One of them country white boys.
Yeah, like the dude you see on the brownie commercial. You know, the tissue, the paper towel. So when he went up there, he said he cried, okay? So you gotta think, he was really passionate about this. But he wasn't at first, because what'd he do? He sold his birthright for what? A morsel of raw meat.
It's crocodile tears, essentially.
Yeah, crocodile tears. You know, he was like, just give me something, Father. He was begging. He was crying. So with that, you got to think, he probably had some type of humility. He was actually upset. So this is carried on to today, okay? It's just that it's the spirit. The spirit of Esau and the ones that are descendants of Esau, the so-called white men, that's just got that perpetual hatred, as the scripture said. Like, I don't know what it is, but
I need your energy. I need your vibe.
Yeah. What is it about you?
And that's why they'll come to you while you're at the bar. They come and try to talk to you, touch on you, take your hat off, and put it on their head. Like, bro, what are you doing?
I want you want your energy.
Yep.
Right.
And just like when he got, I guess outsmarted for his birthright, Esau said, "Is not he rightly called Jacob?" Because this is the second time that he outwitted or finessed, if you will, man. Supplanted, man. That's right.
And Jake, we gonna make a way, bro.
Right.
Even through the midst of this whole ordeal, this pandemic, man, you got Jake out there that's doing their thing. Meanwhile, Esau Edom, he ready to ride, killing himself, blowing his head off, bro. Ready to jump off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to be spiritual about certain situations. Man.
Right.
If I could say, that's handling adversity, all right, and that's through patience. And Jacob has been dealing with that this whole time. Esau can't handle patience.
Right. That's right.
Finishing up, Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father had blessed them. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob.
That's right. And ever since then, it's been on. Hey, because when was it? When we was going to the promised land. They wouldn't let us in. They wouldn't let us in the land of Edom. So we had to go around. When the Babylonians came into power, right? They made pacts with the Babylonians to take us down. But it says in Psalms 137, who said, race it, even to the foundation of thereof, man. Right? So this man has always had his mind into killing us, man.
Right. Mordecai. Haman, you know, he was basically descended from an Edomite king.
Right.
You know, and what did he do? He was he was basically what Ahasuerus. That was the king of at the time. And what did he do? He basically got in good with the king, and he looked what? Set a decree to basically destroy all the what? The Israelites. There go that hatred again.
What was that gentleman's name? The Edomite. Haman.
The Agagite.
The Agagite.
Yeah.
Where is that at in the editions of Esther?
It's in there.
No,
Because the editions of Esther is just it's the book of Esther.
Well, the edition of Esther, Haman gives a description of the Israelites.
Yeah.
And basically that description was like, look, these guys, basically what Joe Biden said about us in 1994, these guys are criminals, they're animals, they need to be locked up. They need to be eradicated. I don't want to hear, basically, I'm loosely paraphrasing, but hey, y'all, look it up, man. The crime act, when Joe Biden was petitioning, he's like, these guys are criminals, they're dangerous, they need to be locked up.
Right.
I don't trust them around my children.
If I may add, there was also a similar message written to I believe it was King Darius, when the heathen were trying to halt the second building of the temple, you know, and that was during the time of Ezra and Nehemiah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You can find that in the book of Ezra, by the way.
That's why they held sword while they were building the temple.
Right.
And that just show you, like you say, the spirit of that hatred between Jacob and Esau. Esau, it seemed like every nation we was under, they always try to infiltrate. Well, they infiltrate that particular nation rulership, become right-hand man to him. That's why it says, words in his mouth is smoother than butter, but words in his heart all the time. And every time he get in good with a king from another nation, what do? He looked forth the destruction, to bring forth destruction in you so-called black, Latinos, and Native Americans.
That's right.
He always look for that destruction. He always say, what can I do to go and give a decree to the king to say, look at these people, as we just said, going into the book of Ruth and things. He said, look at these people. Look what they're doing. What were we doing? Just basically live life, but he just had to find something in his spirit. Say, I got to do something to destroy these people.
I got a precept. Okay, this is Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 1. It says, but it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, he was wroth and took great indignation and mocked the Jews, going into, again, we mentioned the building of the second temple. Verse 2, it says, and he spoke before his brethren and the army of Samaria and said, what do these feeble Jews? Will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they make an end in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burned?
Yeah, they were making fun of us. Because at that time, the temple was destroyed, man.
Yeah.
So this is where you at?
Nehemiah chapter 4.
Okay, so this is during the Persian Empire, man. When we were able to come back and build, and so you had the other nations. They were looking at what we was doing, and they were basically they were scoffing.
Yeah, it's one more verse. The following verse goes into it. You probably wouldn't catch it today because we don't really use it. The saying or what they call it, like basically a play on words.
Yeah.
But this is Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 4. It says, now Tobiah the Ammonite was by him, and he said, even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down their stone wall.
Yeah.
So basically saying, like, you know, whatever foundation they're building it on, it's going to be thrown down easily because a fox is a very nimble creature.
Right.
So, you know, if a fox is able to tear down your wall, then it don't got no type of fortification. You know? Right. Like I said, it was cool.
You see, hey, the water. You see the same mindset when it came to and this is just a very small example. When the Black Panther came out, you had people actually like Edomites on YouTube actually making videos of how stupid Wakanda was.
Right.
Hot.
They had the picture of him holding up his claws. They put a watermelon in that motherfucker. You seen that?
Yeah. They were hot. Heated. So any thought of us being great, they make fun of.
Go to combat.
Yeah.
What was that? Jax. Jax at the end, he basically looked like he got out of slavery and changed everything, and they were living good. Looked like Wakanda, and they was upset about that. They were like, "This ain't how it's supposed to be. This is racist. This is reverse racism."
Mm-hmm. Like, bro,
This is a video.
It's a video game.
Come on, a Moabite made this.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on, man. The hypocrisy of you people, man. But they don't. But that's the mindset. They don't want you to have any power. And any thought of you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Americans having power is a threat. It's a threat, bro. You know? You gonna let this man pass?
And that shows you that Instacart is Jake.
That's Jake, bro.
Yeah.
That's Jake. Go to an all Latino club. I'm telling you, bro, that's Jake. I went one time. I had a Bean Brothers. We had a ball, and then because they different, bro. It's like they different, but they got flavor. Like, man, it's like they were dancing in a circle. Yeah, bro, but it was cool. But no, I'm talking about the whole club. I'm talking about I'm like, man, this is like, look at these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time, man. I grew up around Instacart, so I'm already knowing what time it is. But let's get this in the edition of Esther, or the rest of Esther.
All right, this book of the edition of Esther, chapter 13, start from the top. It says, the copy of the letters was this: the great king Artaxerxes writeth these things to the princes and governors that are under him from India unto Ethiopia.
So Artaxerxes, man, he had a pretty big empire, man. They said so from Egypt to India.
From India unto Ethiopia.
To Ethiopia, man. So he had a major empire at that time, bro. Go ahead,
It says in 120 provinces.
Yeah, had 120 provinces, man. So those are just little regions that he ruled. It's a lot of regions, man. If you think about it, go ahead,
After that, I became Lord over many nations, and had dominion over the whole world, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, but carrying myself always with equity and mildness. I purpose to settle my subjects continually in a quiet life, and making my kingdom peaceable and open for passage to the utmost coast.
So when the Persians got in, he was trying to set up peace on earth. Hey, actually Darius the Great is written about in these scriptures, man. You see what I'm saying? He's written about in the scriptures to take down the Babylonians. You know what I'm saying? To free Israel.
Right.
Which proves that the Most High can use whoever he wants. You see what I'm saying? He can use a heathen for good, or he can use a heathen for evil.
Just like Balaam.
Yeah. Go ahead,
It says, and open for passage to the utmost coast, to renew peace, which I desired of all men. Now when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, Haman, that excelled in wisdom among us.
Now Haman was an Edomite. It says, so he asked his counselors, how can we set up peace on earth? Right? How can all my providences be prosperous? Listen to what he's going to say. Put your voice up a little bit more.
Verse 3. I got one right here.
That's the there's that
No cold water.
right.
Verse 3. Now when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, Haman, that excelled in wisdom among us, and was approved for his constant good will and steadfast fidelity, and had the honor of the second place in the kingdom, declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people that has laws contrary to all nations.
That's right. So who is this malicious group of people? Hey, can we look up that word malicious, Baba Kasha? It's to bring out edification. Because Haman was like, look, man, it's a certain group of people, man, that's wicked. Right? That's not complying. They need to be taken down. That's the same narrative that's being pushed in regards to inoculation.
Right.
You so-called African Americans aren't taking it. You're the problem. Right? Go ahead, Doc.
It says the definition of malicious means having or showing a desire to cause harm to someone.
That's right. Having or showing to cause harm to someone. So let's read this again, because you have to reiterate, who is he talking about? When I say he, I'm alluding to Haman. He's talking about these so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans.
Right.
That's what you're deemed as thugs. You're deemed as promiscuous. Why is that? For his hidden agenda. Go ahead,
Verse 4. Declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people that had laws contrary to all nations, and continually despised the commandments of kings, so as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot go forward.
That's right. So he said, you know what? We're trying to unite our kingdoms, and these group of people, because they have laws, statute, commandments contrary to what we believe, they're going to stop the process.
Right.
You see that? So, in order for us to, in order for these various nations to take us down, what do they have to get us to do? Commit a term called apostasy. That means you take you renounce your given culture or your political beliefs for another. Right?
Right.
To become westernized. You see? And you see that same sentiment going on now.
Right.
Right? Anybody who speaks against what's going on, you're terroristic. Right? You're demonic. You're fake woke. You know? You're conscious.
Right.
They label you all these things. You're a thug. They label you all these things so they can control you. They can control the narrative. Okay? And you see that same sentiment during the time of Esther. Right? And this man had the power to get us killed. Now, your precious president, Joe Biden, again, what did he say in 1994? According to the crime law, or crime bill, he said, you so-called Negroes, Latinos are monsters. And if you have a dime worth of crack, you need to be locked up.
Damn.
You have a gram of crack, you need to be locked up for at least 5 years. Right? And that's when the prison industrial complex was born. What does that mean? That means somebody who's a regular old Joe Schmo can own a prison.
Yep.
Do you know how much it takes to basically house a prisoner? $18,000. Now, why would they go such great lengths to house somebody? Well, they're getting free labor.
Right.
Right? They're in there building things. Right? And also, they're able to destroy you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. Okay?
They use a lot of Jake too through the rap to help promote the violence and the drug to help boost up the people out in the streets to go out and do that. Well, they can help boost up the people inside the jail.
Right.
Be you so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Right. Right. They push you to take drugs, things that nature. Hey, back in the 90s, man, it wasn't cool to be a crackhead, bro, on drugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't cool. You know, when crack came out, you had basically the rap community say, hey man, crack is right, man. You don't need to be doing that stuff. Now, you turn on the radio, Percocet, Molly Percocet.
Mask off.
Molly Percocet, which is all heroin based.
Yeah.
And these various companies are making billions of dollars off of your demise.
Salakia, brother, to land back, conversely, it's one of those companies, J&J, you know, it's a company that's been documented and having to pay several lawsuits, multi-million-dollar lawsuits for destroying somebody with they opioids. The same people come around and make a mandatory juice that you gotta take.
That's right. Hey, the Malak had it. I appreciate it.
Just to land back on what the Tahan had just pulled his answer was at 13 and 4, you know, about Jacob or the Israelites having different commandments and laws from these other nations, man. Why is that? Because Shah, hey, he took us, man, and put his name on us, man. And he gave us those laws, statutes, and commandments to follow in a particular way and to teach the other heathens on how to live life, man. We was never supposed to follow on how to follow the heathen. Because the heathens' ways are like unto death.
That's right.
They don't have a real power to go have counsel with, man. Their powers are idols, man. They're dumb idols. They can't speak, they can't hear, and they can't see, man. As Psalms like to go into. But I want to get this in Judas 5, man. You know, because that it shows that if Israel, like it says in 2 Chronicles 7 and 14, man, is if all of Israel was to turn and seek Yahweh's face, man, he would fill the skies with chariots, man, and return us and heal our land.
That's right.
But all of Israel ain't gonna be saved on this side, man. This is Judah chapter 5 and 17.
There you go.
And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because their God that hated iniquity was with them. So if we turn and follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we'll be all right. The Lord will have that hedge of protection around his people, man. All right. Verse 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, when they continued in their wickedness, man, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, man. So the Lord will send the plagues of other heathen nations, man, to come take down Jacob. And best believe that he did it, man. Go read Jeremiah.
Yep.
Let's see some more on there. And were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their gods was cast to the ground, and their cities was taken by the enemies, man. Babylonians, man. Hey, when the Babylonians came and took down the southern tribe, they destroyed everything, man. They ransacked the temple. Hey, and the Edomites best believe they was backdooring right with them, man.
Ain't that the spirit?
Hey, that's the spirit. You got fresh Edomites up here listening, man. We speaking about the downfall of y'all kingdom, man.
That's right.
We telling you that, hey, the people that you see up here, and these people that you see on this sign, man. Hey, our God, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to come and take down this kingdom.
That's
man.
right.
The people, the same God that the people call Jesus Christ, man. His true name is Yahweh Shai, man.
Right. Yeah, and the atrocities that you Edomites, which is the biblical nation of the so-called white race on the planet, okay, y'all are guilty for the crimes of your forefathers, man. Right. You see, the Bible speaks of the nation of Edom being judged for the sins and the history that they've done to the Lord's people, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. You got it, Joe. I got it.
And also the philosophy that you push throughout the world, man.
Yep.
That's a huge stumbling block. Western culture. You got something a lot? Go ahead.
This is Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that sell the nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft.
That's right. Hey, we see that going on contemporarily speaking, man.
Right.
You have families being sold into slavery, right? Under the banner of aid, or we're helping the so-called Haitian people. But in fact, what are you doing? Right? There's documents of the Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation going over to Haiti and killing those children, raping those children, also harvesting their organs, man.
Right.
You see? And now what you see going on is Isaiah, the 19th chapter, the Egyptian is rising up against the Egyptian. Right? So now the house of Edom, right, is at war with one another. The Democrats versus the Republicans. And guess what? They stem from these same beasts. Which really goes back to what? The Greeks, the Romans. You see? The thing about the democracies what happened to democracy is this. It starts off as a republic, and then it evolves into a democracy to where you vote. But then my rule happens, right? To where it soon becomes socialist.
Right.
And then what happens? What happens? A civil war happens.
Right.
And that's precisely what we're going into, civil unrest. And this is going to be one of the ways in which America is going to be toppled. You got some a lot?
Hey, Con, this is Baruch chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 9. The point in verse 11. It says, Hear Israel, the commandment of life. Give ear to understanding, to understand wisdom.
Take your time, baby.
It says, verse 10, How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country?
That's right.
That thou art filed.
So right now, and I've said this earlier, the so-called Negro, Latino neighborhood, we're being used as pawns, basically as human cereals, by these various political parties.
That's right.
They're utilizing the plight of the so-called Negro to push a wicked agenda.
Right.
With BLM and things of that nature, socialism and things of that nature. Then you have on the other side, the flip side of that, you know, you got the good so-called good Negro. What's that, my man Elder? First got attacked out there in California. Something Elder. He got attacked out there in California. Fox had reported on it. He's seen as one of the good Negroes. That's pro-American and yeah. Well, that sentiment, those spaces are being used to push different narratives from different political parties. Al, what's your name? Not Al Sharpton. It's something Elder. Salaki brothers.
Hey, Con.
You know.
It says in the middle of 10, it says that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead.
That's right. So we have been defiled here, man. What does America push? Homosexuality, transgenderism, bestiality. All these things are being pushed by America, regardless of the political party.
That's right.
So guess what? Because of its wickedness that it's pushing, it's going to be taken down. And the people who rule are going to be taken down.
That's right. Verse 11, it says that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave.
That's right. Hell. You know, the grave is synonymous with hell. Not a place where you burn forever. Right? But it's going to be a toppling. You're going to be brought low.
That's right.
Okay? But let's go back to that editions of Esther. This is, it's for edification, right? We're here to teach.
This is back in the edition of Esther, chapter 13, or Salaki.
Sorry, you
Yeah,
13.
chapter 13. And I'll read verse 4 again, right? Because it's basically going into, remember, that Esther is asking his lead man, if you will, Haman, all right, is there a way that we can establish peace on earth, right? And really we understand now, all this time later, that the only way to do that, all right, is to put these devils out, all right? And it's going to be Yahweh Shem Yahushai that does it at the end of the day.
Hey, we don't mind you guys listen. Please don't touch anybody. Please don't touch anybody.
Social distance.
You don't have social distancing, bro. Right? You don't go to people and just touch them. Didn't we just talk about this? Isn't that the spirit? Right? Right.
Mean no harm.
Well, just don't touch us, you know? We're not saying you are meaning no harm. Just don't touch us.
Are you upset because we're white?
No. Well, I'm upset because you're touching us. I've already said that numerous times. And it's very rude. Read the scriptures, please.
Verse 4, it says, declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people that had laws contrary to all nations.
That's right. Now the narrative of where reverse racism was gonna come out. You see that? Yeah. Yeah, he was just nice to us as well. Now he's a tough guy down the street.
They drunk though. Tipsy, whatever.
No? The spirits bring it out though.
Esau hurt, bro.
Yeah, Esau don't know whether a hug is a punch.
We're gonna do both.
You know? Go ahead, huh?
It says, and continually despise the commandments of kings, so as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot go forward. It says, seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men, differing in the strange manner of their laws and evil affecting to our state, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established.
That's right. So he's saying that because we have our own culture, right? And they don't want to get with the program. They are a problem. Isn't that the same sentiment of Esau Edom? There's actually a term called cultural imperialism. You had the Benjamites, which are Jamaicans, so-called Jamaicans, protested about that because they were trying to basically have a pride flag on their embassy.
Right.
And it was like, no, we don't want that, man. We don't want that in our country, right? And you saying that, guess what? Guess what? You're demonized, man. Well, what is that? Well, that's a part of that wine, man.
Right. I got this.
God.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 14. It says, if you be reproached for the name of Mashiach, happy are ye. For the spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. And you know, essentially with the building up of the second temple, the purpose of it was to what? Glorify the Most High. You know, offer up sacrifice as we have been commanded up until that point. And again, you had the heathen trying to come up and thwart the will of the Most High, man. Just like how they're trying to do now. They're trying to find ways to disband the truth, but there's no way to destroy something spiritual with physical, man.
Right.
You know, so again, it said, that second part, it says, on their part, he is evil spoken of. They're making us seem like we're the bad guys, but really we're glorifying the Lord and doing the works that he set us up to do, man.
That's right. That's right. So anybody speaking up against this place, against Western culture, guess what? You are deemed as terroristic. Okay? Go ahead, brothers. Go ahead and read. Khan, is there a little bit more on there? It is, because he gonna say that we need to be destroyed.
Carrying on in the additions of Esther 13:6, it says, therefore have we commanded that all they that are signified in writing unto you by a man who is ordained over the affairs and is next unto us, shall all with their wives and children be utterly destroyed by the sword of their enemies.
That's right. You see that? So Haman was petitioning for us to okay? That's what he was petitioning to happen, because we wasn't complying with his way.
Right.
Now he's gotten a little bit more crafty. Now he using these laws and things of that nature, you know, and sellers of our people, you know, to push his agenda. Let's go to First Maccabees, the first chapter. This to drill home that point, because the brother, the priest, had brought out a beautiful point, you know what I'm saying, of the sword and what it all embodies. You know, and a part of that sword is that that wicked legislation. You at First Maccabees? Right. Okay, well, can you grab Isaiah the 10th chapter real quick, Baba Kashai? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
What name that creed? I think it's the first.
It's 5:25 and that's called evil good. I got it.
No, yeah.
I got it mixed up.
No, it's all good, man. Go ahead,
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Keep going. Do you want to speak on that?
Well, you know, the word prescribe, as I like to always bring out, when you break it down, pre meaning before, and then scribe meaning written. So this is something that from their forefathers, they've been, you know, they've received, just like we received this from our forefathers. Right? But it says, verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
And that's who they target with a lot of their legislation, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Women and children, right? Because if you get a woman is very impressionable, right? A woman is naturally going to be a follower, right. Contrary to popular belief, contrary to the narrative that feminism pushes, right? They're doing absolutely everything that Esau Edom wants them to do, right? And if you can get the woman, guess what? You can get the child, right? Because the woman has dominion over the household. She has dominion over the children. So if you can brainwash those two parties, guess what? Guess what? You've just taken over a country via legislation. That's why when the Afghan government was taken down, what happened? Well, the women were supposedly liberated. Why were they liberated? So they could be westernized. Okay?
Same thing as Hellenization now.
Same thing. It don't change, bro.
Yep.
The format don't change. You got something?
I was just saying, Esau had them in Afghanistan, and then he left them out to dry. After 20 years of westernizing these women over there, they end up in just leaving them. Now look what they're going through.
Right. Right. Complete hell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Go ahead, Doc.
Back in Isaiah 10 and 3, and what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? And where would they leave your glory?
That's right. So they're going to be destroyed, man. Let's go to First Maccabees.
This is First Maccabees 1. You want to go to 11 or go?
Start at 10, I think.
10. Okay. This is First Maccabees 1 and 10. It says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days, there went out there in Israel, verse 11. In those days went there out in Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
That's right. So our people went and made a covenant with the Greeks, right?
But the wicked of our people.
The wicked of our people.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. No.
Okay? To become what? Hellenists.
Yeah. Selling out.
Following after the Greek way.
Right.
And what were they into? All types of madness. I think it talks about, does it talk about gymnasium on this one?
About what?
Gymnasium?
That's
the second Maccabees.
Second Maccabees.
Keep on reading because I think it briefly talks about it.
It says, it says, saying, let us go make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. Since we departed from them, we have been much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
That's right, keep on going.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem,
That's right.
according to the customs of the heathen.
Now, if you go to Second Maccabees, it goes into more detail of what was going on in those gymnasiums. Well, our people were running around butt naked. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling each other and shit.
Right.
Tripping. Like, no, I don't want to wrestle you naked. You know what I'm saying?
Even in like modern day, like in high school, they got the damn leotards, look like a dang on bikini, but for a man, you know, it's off, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you go to an upscale spa, they have certain sections to where you can be naked.
Right.
Actually, if you go to like a nice spa, people walk around butt naked. You know what I'm saying? I went with one dude that I was cool with. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, let's just go to a spa and chill. He said, man, I've been here for hours just talking to people and stuff. And man, we went in there, bro, and he's just like, hey, just to let you know, people be here naked. He just kept saying, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? When we get in, and he just looks around, he just like, I start skipping. I'm like, what the fuck? But this was a nice spot, bro. You could go, I'm talking about, you go in, and they have like water, it gets like hot, you just laid back, but it was cool, but it was just like, bro, like, this is Greece.
Yeah. They show you that in a lot of like movies that are like Roman based. They'll have like the open tub.
Yeah, it was just like that.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. It was on some Greek shit, bro. You know, some like freak like. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, bathhouse.
Yep. Yep. And they're just really just chilling, but
nasty as hell. Uncircumcised as hell.
Yep. Precisely, bro.
That's what they being there naked and talking about business.
Yep. Yeah.
That's gay, man.
Yeah, it is gay. It's very gay. Me and a bro, we went to the restroom change. We had our shorts. Man, it's just like, what the fuck was that?
That was overdressed.
Yeah, we was overdressed apparently. I'm like, yo, man. But the dude, he put some shorts on eventually. So it was just like, bro, you tripping. You living that life. You know what I'm saying? You know? Go ahead, Al.
This is back in First Maccabees 1. I'll read verse 14 again. It said, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the custom of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
That's right. So you have a lot of our people, even modernly speaking, are sold unto the heathen, right? And a lot of our people who are higher up, they're complying with the NWO.
Right.
right? They're pushing our people to take the inoculation. Not only that, they're pushing our people to be Hellenistic.
Right.
Okay, as I'm speaking, I'm thinking about Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's supposed to be so religious, but he says, or so spiritual, I should say, he made the statement, well, there's no one way to God.
The big ass cigar in his mouth.
It's universalism. Subjectism. There is no right or wrong. As long as you believe in a higher power, you could be a Buddhist, you could be, a Muslim, Christian. It don't matter.
What if somebody atheist and don't believe in anything?
I guess he cool with them too.
Anything
goes. Anything goes mentality. And you seen that in Greece. Because the people who would stand up for the laws and commandments, they were demonized. Same thing with us.
Right.
We're demonized. We don't do certain things. Right? And that's terroristic to this place. Because we have a standard. And that standard is the law, statutes, and commandments.
This is Daniel 8, verse 25. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many, and he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, for he shall be broken without hand. Like I say, through his policy. Okay, and what is the policy he's putting out now? It's certain mandates. Those are considered certain policies. Okay, mandates are something that's mandatory. Right. Which is something that we're going to guide you to do. If you don't, it's certain stipulation. If you don't go by, you gotta this is gonna happen. You may get a fine. Okay, you may get a slap on the hand. You may go to jail. This is something that he's closely pushing in. So it's gonna get to a point where it's like that in Australia. How you see the policies have changed there. That's right. You can just go and don't have on a mask, you might get choke slam on the ground. Yeah, this is what's coming here. That's how it is.
That way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting there, man. These are still laws are coming. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much you comply, it's not gonna be enough. He wants you to bow down, bro.
Right. That craftiness, they're causing that craft to prosper. Okay, that deceitfulness is basically he's doing that to use man fear to bring forth his agenda. So he's doing his deceitful ways, his craftiness to prosper, okay? To bring forth what? To bring forth the MOTB eventually. And like you said, he will basically, casualties of war? Yep. He will cause casualties of war to his own race, okay? These white people that's talking about, he won't do this to our own people. Yes, he will.
Yes, he will. Hey, because you have to understand, even in Greece, he always had the doctrine of minimizing the population for control. So he'll implement certain things in order for that population to be at a certain number. Even in ancient Greece, that's why he would implement actually homosexuality. That's a form of population control. Right. Why do you think he's pushing that now, bro? Right? He don't want you so-called Negro Latino day beggars to reproduce. You're doing too much. And the perfect way to stop that is to tell your little son, you could be with another boy. You feel like being a girl today, dress up. Chop it off. Go ahead. And now that person is infertile.
If I can add, bro, that's now like what it is, a very direct way. But even before that, even now, what is it? In your tap water, you got atrazine, right, which is a chemical that the scientists tested on frogs and it turned the frogs gay, basically. You know, it's certain things that he's been doing, you know, with chemicals and whatnot, putting it in bubble gum. A lot of bubble gum has atrazine in it. That's why it's important to know your ingredients.
That's soy. A lot of that soy has like high levels of estrogen in it. They say that you're only supposed to eat like soy like 2 to 3 times most out of the week. But you got a lot of these people who are self-righteous vegans, and they have all these these corn dogs, vegan products, meatless corn dogs, meatless nuggets and shit like that. And they don't know, first off, you eat chemical, but you being made infertile by the various food that you eat, man. Anything that you see that goes on in a given country, it's orchestrated, bro. None of this happens willy-nilly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know? Go ahead.
This is back in 1 Maccabees 1, I jump to verse 41. It said, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandments of the king.
That's right. And that's the same. Isn't that the same doctrine that was being pushed by Artaxerxes and Haman? That everybody to be one people. Go ahead.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings, and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
That's right. And that's precisely what you see going on now. Bacon is pushed heavily here.
Oh man. Start your morning.
Yep, start your morning out with some bacon. They have bacon vodka.
Yeah.
They have bacon ice cream.
Yep.
They put they use pig basically animal parts, lard, things of that nature, gelatin.
Yep.
I'm saying in pills, certain pills, man. See that? So it's pushed here heavily.
Right.
All these little things are utilized to push a certain vibration. Everything has vibrations. Right. You know, all laws, statutes, and commandments are very particular for a reason. To keep us holy. And that word holy means separate. That's why you don't we didn't wear mixed fabric. And now, just for a point or two, if anybody comes up here and says, well, you guys believe in the Bible, what about mixed fabrics? Do you guys know the benefits of not mixing fabrics? Does anybody? Anybody? The reason why you don't mix fabrics is because it's not biodegradable. Have you ever had a cotton shirt and that cotton shirt start getting holes in it, right? Yep. Well, why is that? Because it's going back to the earth. But when you mix the fabric, it lasts longer.
Yep. Plastic.
And it causes what? Pollution. Yep. That's why you don't mix the fabrics. Okay? Just, you know, so if anybody comes up and asks you, well, what about the mixed fabric? Well, hit them with that. Because it's causing pollution. Okay? Everything's supposed to go back to, I'm sorry. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say the Lord is the separatist. Mixed fabrics, even the people. You don't supposed to, he said don't mix the people. We don't supposed to be mixed and mingled amongst all the other nations. The Lord is a separatist. So like you said, the mixed fabrics, if you don't, if it's like you say 100% something, it goes back to the ground, but if it's mixed, then it becomes what? By what they defiled, right?
That's right. That's right. So we were trying. So Esau, Edom, his goal is to get us away from the law, statute, commandments, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To defile us. And you see certain legislation and things of that nature being pushed in order for us really to be as a heathen. But for the elected, the chosen ones, we're going to be separate, bro. Can we got some more of that in Maccabees?
1 Maccabees 1, verse 48, it says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinance.
That's right. So now who do you see being targeted? Well, you see the children being targeted. You know what I'm saying? By what? By over-sexualizing them. right? And that was a doctrine of not only Baal Peor but Molech. You would sacrifice the children, right? You would do these illicit sexual acts to worship the deities, these various deities like Baal, like Asherus, right? That's what, and if you look at the doctrine of feminism, that is a gateway to basically sexual madness, man. Because Asherus is what? It's a god of fertility, right? And that's a very, and you would worship her by doing what? By going and having sex with temple harlots. Now the premises of feminism is what? Sexual liberation. If you do research on feminism, the third wave of feminism, which we're in now, which started in the 1990s, the 2000s, what do they push? Freakism. Have sex, exploring yourself. And now that's the gateway to what? Pedophilia. All right? So we're supposed to be separate and holy, bro. Okay? Hey, you know, we could keep going, but the point was made. You know, we want to give all praise to our Heavenly Father. His name is
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rukakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders that rule well. Salutations to you, Akyam, man. Shalom.
Shalom.